the early 90s, 4 straight Super Bowl by Buffalo Bills.
Right.
They ran into how many teams? The Giants,
Dallas,
the Cowboys, and 49ers.
Right.
So it was Joe Kelly.
Niners.
The guy? Was he the king? Was he the guy?
Jim Kelly.
Excuse me, Joe, I'm sorry.
He was the
remember
guy.
his name.
Sorry, I got his last name.
He was the guy.
Sorry.
He was the guy.
He was
He was the guy, but he didn't win the dance.
He was the guy for that. He was the guy of the NFL.
He was not.
No, he wasn't the guy of the
was
NFL, but they were. The Bills did something that no other team has done since.
4 straight Super Bowls.
They have their legacy. That those teams are in historical standing as one of the greatest teams of all time.
That never won.
Whether they won or lost. You got the 4 straight Super Bowls, bro.
Yeah, 4
and they
straight.
lost, and the two of those 4 games that they lost, they only lost by a very small margin of victory. So that team is, when you think about the history, we're talking about people who understand the historical standpoint of football. That team is in the upper echelon of great teams, no matter if they won or lost.
And fair point, and I concur there, but he was the guy, but not the main guy.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
It's All Even with your boy Barry Grant. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Megaphone as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I'm all over the place, man. And trust me, go to YouTube. You got something to say, Claude? You got something to say? You want to finish it? You know it.
Welcome back, Claude.
You know it.
Welcome back, y'all.
You wasn't here last week. See, I was able to get my stuff off last week because you wasn't here.
Pause. Watch your mouth. Just help me with the sale. That was a good one, though. I'm with that. I'm happy to be back. You happy to see me?
No, I am really not.
Can you
happy.
see me? Because I'm here.
I'm really not happy to see you.
All right, cool. I'll take that.
But yeah, go on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, all that. As well as go to the Grid Podcast, Grid Network, like, share, and comment as well on that. Got a lot of great content over there. So I already got to you, Claude. I don't need to say anything more to you.
Thanks.
You don't show up last week. You show up here. You come with no gifts.
Minishevitz?
Nothing, right? Nothing in your hand. And, you got to do better. You got to do better. Got anything to say? Sorry?
In the words of the greatest ever, Kanye West, my presence is a present. Kiss my ass. Thank
Okay, cool. Phil's here again. Looking cool. I mean, listen, you just come through here with the nice gear. Like, you can come here regular. You know that, right? You don't have to come in here like you just walked out of a magazine shoot. Like, it's not what we do here. I already had to talk to him already. Had to talk to
T-shirt and sweat.
Chili McFreeze. He came up here full gray sweatsuit out. You know what I mean? With the gray hat.
Bro.
I'm over here. Oh, okay, cool. You was ready to get on camera today.
You know what he did? He snuck out the house.
Facts.
He
He was ready to get on camera today. You know what I mean? He was a little nervous last week because he had to host the show, but he was ready this week. Yeah, okay.
You got chapstick on?
Okay. How he does?
He got the cologne in the car.
He a little glossy.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? The silent assassin on the ones and twos was going on. Of course. A woman of few words. I love it. All right? Fang McFrost?
Can't say that too, by the way.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. All right? She knows what I meant. How you doing, Fang?
Feeling wild.
Feeling wild. Listen, I'm hating tonight. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm hating
Feeling
tonight.
wild.
I'm hating tonight. Okay? Tell your wife that I'm hating. I'm hating. I am.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Remember that movie? We got a special guest today. What's going on, Al? How you doing, man?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Even kill right now.
Yeah, even kill now.
I said now.
Yeah. Off camera, you was wilding.
You know, gotta let you know.
Bashing the Cowboys and all this type of nonsense. I don't like it.
Correction.
I don't like
This
it.
man.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Correction is cowgirls.
No, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like
The
that.
colors are gray and pink, not gray and blue.
Oh, see?
there we are.
But we gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Lots to get into today. Obviously, Tom Brady retiring, right? That's one of the biggest stories out there. We're gonna, spend some time on speaking about the great Tom Brady. Arian Foster said some wild shit. And this applies to one person in this room, and that's Claw. I'm sure Claw is going to love this topic. Joe Mixon. They try to throw some shade at my man Joe Mixon, and we're going to discuss that a little bit. Where's Derek Carr going? He said some funny stuff at the
crazy
at the Pro Bowl. I respect him for that. Sean Payton is the new head coach of the Denver Broncos. We're going to talk about that. Demeco Ryans is the new head coach of the Houston Texans. A lot of people are not happy with that, me included, so we definitely going to discuss that. Kyrie demands a trade out of Brooklyn.
This is new, right? It happened today.
Yeah, it happened today. So, we definitely going to speak about where he's going to go, what his chances are of landing in certain situations, and what the market is, because I'm not hearing any good news on that right now. I want to talk about NBA officiating, what everybody feels about how it's been, because a lot of people have been kind of critical of the NBA officiating over the last, officiating period, as well as the NFL as well. So definitely want to talk about that.
Sucks.
And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
But before I get into that, y'all heard about that story about the high school kid that assaulted that teacher? So I think it happened a couple weeks ago. Substitute teacher, she's teaching another class and she subbed in for this particular class. Student gets up in her face, they arguing.
Oh yeah.
So the
Seen the video.
teacher backs off and she's
Crazy.
like, "Listen, I don't want no smoke." You know what I'm saying? Like, you a student, I'm not going there with you. And the student starts hitting her. They start fighting. Now mind you, she ain't hit the girl back, but she caught all the hits. She's in the hospital with a broken leg and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Like, she gonna be out of work for a while. And there's a debate going on whether this teenage girl should be charged as an adult for assault. And you have a lot of people on one side talking about, "Oh, well, she's a kid." But the way I feel, they need to charge her ass for assault. Because, first off, as a kid, where do you get that type of aggression from to even approach a teacher like that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
She didn't even seem comfortable. Like, she wanted to fight her, but she kept like pushing the issue.
Nah, though, the teacher never laid a hand on her.
The girl, not the teacher.
Yeah.
The teacher was like, "Please back up,
Right.
up," and the girl kept stepping forward like
Right.
she wanted it. I'm like, but you can see she felt uncomfortable, like she was trying to put on a show for like the students in her classroom.
That's
like
exactly
they weren't
what it was.
They weren't getting hyped over that. They were like, "Yo, I can't believe this," and she just kept pushing and pushing and pushing until she started fighting for no reason.
Was she
So,
sophomore or junior?
couldn't tell you.
I don't even remember,
Couldn't tell
honestly.
you.
Because freshmen
I
don't do shit
don't
like
think
that.
it really makes a difference.
It was somebody that was trying to get their
Cloud up?
cloud up for no reason.
Yeah, you have to hold the L on that, sis.
Definitely got to hold the L on that.
Yeah.
She looked crazy.
You breaking legs and shit. Yeah, breaking legs is intentional.
You know,
No.
Like-
every now and then you got to make an example out of somebody.
Facts.
Yep.
Like, remember the chick that got uppercutted on the bus by the dude? He's like,
You going to jail now?
and he just gave it up. Like, she had to take that L. She had to hold that. So I think this one's going to have to
Tiger
hold that.
uppercut.
Yeah.
Al's looking at us like, what the hell did I just sign up for?
No. When there's clear intent
Right.
to harm someone,
For sure.
you have to now pay the consequences.
So you believe that she should get charged an adult,
Oh,
right?
1,000%.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with y'all. I'm with
1,000%.
y'all.
Listen, she was aware of what she was doing from start to finish.
Right.
Her mental capacity was intact, so she was coherent. So she needs to face the consequences of whatever the letter of the law is. If she's a minor, like the situation that happened in Florida when the little kid took the parent's gun and shot the teacher.
Right.
There's a law down there where that child would not get charged and would not be tried or anything of that sort. But here she needs to be tried. She needs to understand, like, there's something for clout, because everything's gonna get recorded now. You could yell at a teacher and then post it and call yourself a badass, and what you did now is just plain criminal.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, for me, like, if I'm a teacher, where's the protection for me? Like, where's like if there should be no situation where a student should feel comfortable that they can be able to get up to the front of the room and do something like that. So where's the protection for teachers? Like, they underpaid, they underappreciated, and then they getting their ass whipped on top of that, bro. Like, they gotta be something that happens.
You know what it's like? It's kind of like traffic cops.
Yeah.
You know,
Traffic cops stake and disrespect.
they used to get their asses whooped.
They're the most disrespectful people in
They
Oh,
the
used to get
world.
their asses whooped, and now
And
you
they
know
had
what?
to change the rule.
Right
Yeah.
now, they're police.
Yeah, it's a felony. It's a felony
felony
if
now.
you hit them.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
get
almost
wild.
Any
almost
city,
any,
any
like-
city worker though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's a
any
felony.
government worker, if they get assaulted, it's 7 years in jail.
Right.
But like, yo, salute to the traffic cops, and by all means, nobody deserves
Nah.
that. But, yo, the shit they decide to do because they know they can do it is disrespectful. You sitting in your car, you just walk into your car, you got the key in the door, and they're like, pap, and put that bitch on your windshield.
but
you
here-
know you could have did nothing, yo.
But here's
and
the
then
thing,
say,
though.
I can't do anything about
But
it.
here's the thing, though.
It's worse.
Are you parked illegally? So don't say no wild.
They
thing.
get you when you go to the
illegally.
meter. They get you when you went to the meter.
You know what you could do? So you have 6 minutes after you park.
Right.
New York City law. You got 6 minutes as you park to go get your ticket. And your ticket expires. You have 6 minutes to get a new ticket. Now, if they slap you a ticket, all you got to do is record it on your phone, and the ticket will be...
Right. But you see, wild people, they want to start arguing, want to fight with the traffic cops. That's what they want to do.
Because we never met Al before, and Al never told us this actual law that doesn't exist.
I actually knew that, but it's
never
the
knew
fact
that.
that
I
they
didn't know
will.
that.
You don't care to
I
know.
didn't know.
No, but you gotta understand, they have to write a certain amount of tickets. So
Yeah,
they
they
will
gotta make their
They will
quota.
literally
Actually, no.
watch you and then do that.
Facts.
Well, the thing about it is that they can... If you catch them, they're like, hey, I'm on 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'm banging you. I'm banging you.
Well, they're
You know,
bacon
no,
straight
straight
up.
What you do is this for them for you to ruin their day. If you got your day inconvenienced, just call your supervisor. They have to call their supervisor, and they have to then get the ticket
Right.
reversed.
Like, see, the thing
Ruin
is,
their day.
the whole
I like
the
him.
whole-
I like him a lot. He's
the
good.
whole concept, the whole concept
Let
is
me get
that,
your card,
when
man.
something happens, people like to fly off the rails instead of being calm and saying, "Listen, there's another way to handle this." But y'all want to act crazy.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's me.
Of course, you ain't got no manners.
I don't give a shit.
You got no manners. But listen, if I'm a teacher, going back to the top, if I'm a teacher, I'm whipping that girl ass. If I'm gonna spend some time out, or they gonna suspend me or whatever,
they gonna-
I'm
Bro,
getting some
it's
in.
gonna be-
And you know what's
They're
gonna
gonna
happen to
fire
you?
you.
You're gonna
You
be
can't touch
fired
them.
and you're gonna be in jail.
Yeah.
How?
And
I'm
you're
defending
gonna be
myself.
right next to her.
It's
you,
an
man, it's
automatic
different.
termination.
I'm
You touch a
defending
student.
myself.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. But in their eyes, it don't work that way.
But
Think about this.
self-defense is self-defense,
So think
man.
about
And
this.
that's a
No, no.
There's a lawsuit on the board of that
But
because
look-
you got to right to stand your ground.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
not
thank you,
necessarily.
Al.
Not necessarily.
Well,
If somebody,
like that. That was
Listen,
if
good.
somebody's whipping my
That's
ass,
not true.
I got the right to hit you.
Think about this. District 27. You know,
Someone
it's a lot of
kicking
kids
my
who may
ass.
have like maybe
Got the
autistic
right
or have
to hit
whatever
you.
behavioral problems. When these kids attack some of these people like a para or a teacher's aide, they're told to just hold them,
Yeah.
to restrain them.
Yeah, but that's
But now,
that's
no,
special ed, though.
but,
That's different.
but understand this.
That's different.
Listen, but understand this.
So is MMA, man.
I'm 5'5.5".
You got to put that half there.
I'm in a half. Yo, when I went to my daughter's school, 90% of these kids are bigger than me. Who am I restraining?
Can they dunk though?
At the same time, listen, that's
matters.
special ed.
Can
That's
they
different.
No. But I think your example a little flawed, and the reason why is because those teachers are trained,
Right.
right?
To de-escalate.
They have
But
the
what's
special-
trained?
they have-
Trained to do what?
No, but
Get
they
their asses kicked?
But no, they to be a special ed teacher, you have to have special training. You have to have certification. So you have to go through certain type of training to understand, and that's why they have multiple teachers in those classrooms.
Absolutely.
But
And-
that's special ed. That's
But
not.
not- but
we don't know if that girl was in special ed. That was just looked like a regular student
And
to
very
me.
true. So as a regular student, so the question that we need to ask is where are the other students to help de-escalate this
Facts.
situation?
That's
Because I remember, listen, when I was in the 7th grade, a fight happened, other students helped to de-escalate the situation.
What, the teacher?
You never fighting you?
Huh?
You are like 6'8", so you
Bro,
know. I gotta.
First of all,
I gotta
most
ask.
times the other students are gonna stand on the desk and say, "Whoop that trick."
Now, yes, but if a teacher is at fault, like we saw with that rapper's kid, when a teacher was saying, for example, he was like, "I'm racist." I forgot that rapper from the South. It happened in Houston. Point is,
Bun B,
was it no?
Slim Thug.
It was like
Mike
NL
Jones.
Chopper or something like that. What?
And NLE.
Yeah.
All right, NLE
It's
Chopper.
it's on Shade Room. Look it up.
Got
Shout out
it.
to Shade Room.
Gotcha.
But my whole point is, if a teacher's at fault, then I get the whole classroom is against that teacher. But based on the evidence, teacher tried to de-escalate,
Right.
push back. Student should have been like, chill, grab, walk away, whatever. Or the teacher should have just exit the classroom and call for help.
This is a possibility, yeah.
At the end
But
of the day,
she tried though.
there's
She
multi-
tried
there's
to exit the
Yeah, she
classroom,
started to
and
walk
that's
outside the
when the
classroom.
girl started to hit her.
She turned
so
up a
she
little
hit
bit
her
more.
in the doorway, and then they fell outside, and she just continued to assault the teacher.
So when you
You know what I'm saying?
And no one came.
And no one
That's
did
what I'm
nothing,
saying.
You
bro.
gotta understand
At a
this.
certain point,
Everybody
like,
took their phone down and
Moses.
recorded it.
Yeah.
Nobody
And that's
decided
the-
to
and
help.
I don't know.
That's
We
the
from
era
yo,
that we in. We in the
that's the
record
problem.
era
That's the
where
shit.
where nobody wants to help no more. Everybody just got their
also,
cameras out.
It's a good and bad thing. It's a good and bad thing because at the end of the day, we don't know who has what on them, right? So to get involved, and I'm making an argument for both sides of the coin, right? But to get involved, we don't know if that girl had a weapon, not had a weapon. On a regular day, you see someone fighting out on the street, you want to help.
valid.
But you rather just, instead of recording, you have 10 other people recording. You could be that 11th person to, hey, call 911.
What, yell
call
from a
someone.
distance?
Yo, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I mind my damn business.
Or
See, but
you
boom,
could, or
that-
you could,
that part.
after you could be in the car minding your business and listen on 80th Street,
Right.
on Jackson Avenue,
Right.
there's a fight going on. I don't know. I see a commotion going on. I'm in my car safe.
Right.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna say, "Is the person black? Is the person white? Oh, does the person have a weapon? Oh, does this?" By the time all that happens, this is done with.
But in hindsight, in the classroom, we come from the era of, if we don't do something, we gonna get in trouble for this shit anyway. We come from that era. Right now that somebody just had, but they have the era of, we gotta take pictures of this shit. Make sure I put the shit, I gotta go viral. Because that's all that matters right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We come from the era, we don't really help this old lady get her ass whipped. We all gonna get kicked out of school, bro. And we gonna have to hold that L. So it's just a trying time for the times.
We came from the era of decency, bro. At the end of the day,
Facts.
No, I keep saying it that a lot of these kids come from broken homes. A lot of these kids are getting raised by kids.
Yes, that's what it is.
Because I have friends that are teachers, and when this whole thing happened, like I reached out to one, and she was telling me how, that's how they feel. Like when they see kids come to school starts at 7:30, they pulling in at 8:30, they walking in the classroom at 9:30, they coming in at 10:30. They don't care what time they coming in, and when they go ahead and say something to the kid, like, listen, if you want help, you have to want the help. I can't force you to want to learn. You know what I'm saying? And then the teachers will reach out to the parents, and the parents will be like, well, they're there, right?
Yeah, that's
Doesn't matter what time they're there.
They
Like,
made it, right?
That's
You know
the type of attitude that you're getting from the parents. So it's like, if the parents are not doing anything, then what am I supposed to do?
You know what?
These teachers are already getting broken kids by the time they get to the school.
When my daughter was in high school, she had like a little issue at one point. And as soon as they called me, I was up at the school. And they said, you know what, we appreciate you coming up to the school because half the time we call parents,
They don't show up.
They don't even show up. They hang up the phone on
Yeah.
us. Like they don't even care.
That matters, bro.
So
That matters a lot.
Being involved as a parent. I'm not a parent, but being involved as a parent, I have my mom involved. Trust me. Listen,
It
goes a
matters,
long way.
bro.
It goes a
trust
long
me,
way.
it goes a long
It matters,
way.
bro.
But at the same time, I've seen parents involved with their kids, and sometimes the onus is on that child.
Nah, listen. At the end of
To
the
a
day,
certain
nah,
extent,
100%.
like once you're able to comprehend and
Yeah.
understand your actions, and you just don't want to turn around. I don't think there's enough a parent could do.
There's plenty of people there's plenty of like pieces of garbage people out there that have come from good parents.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That have
Yeah,
done
look at them,
everything
like,
for that kid.
All the serial
And
killers, they be like, What? He did what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes, your son is Ted Bundy.
The Menendez brothers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they came from rich upbringing. They smoked their parents. So it's like you got a
I mean to
whole.
laugh, but
Shit is with it real.
you just framed it right there.
I'm just being serious. Like, you can do all you can for your kids at some point, right? You can teach them right or wrong. They can still end up being the worst people on the planet. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it really goes both ways. But at the same time, as a parent, you got to do your job of be there. Because just being there, you don't know what that does for your kid, that impact of what that does for your kid. But when you're not there, they out there fending for themselves. And what's raising these kids is social media. That's what's raising them.
You know what? They
think it's okay to be able to
Right.
do stupid videos and do dumb challenges and drink bleach and all this wild shit. Like, that's what they want to do.
The problem is their
With that blue
peers.
chicken?
Their peers encourage it.
Right.
You know,
Bleach
like
is
what happened
disgusting,
to
by the
remember
way.
what happened to Walter do drugs and you ain't gonna do drugs with him. You know, We
Right.
need more people like that.
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
don't
saying?
have the after school commercials like
They don't have those no more.
Travis Scott takes a long way home.
Right.
You know where your children
The
are.
truth commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, remember
McGruff. Where's McGruff?
remember the commercials back in the day? Like, it's 10,
Yo, where's Smokey the Bear, bro?
it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Like,
No
like,
more of those.
Ain't none of them kids.
Wait,
no commercials.
How about the other day? You remember back in the day they used to have the commercial, don't drink and drive. Now it's like, don't smoke under the influence.
Oh yeah, they switched up the narrative.
Everything is changing, like
Right.
everything.
Change for the worse.
Listen, man.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get that out of the way because it seen the story that bothered me. It did. It did.
Disgusting.
Because I seen it, and you know the way my processing center works, I was over here thinking like, all right, so she took all those hammer fists to the face, and she didn't even one time put this
I'm sure she wanted
this
to.
ratchet
You
behind
know
the
what?
headlock.
I honestly think she did the right thing.
But yo, the teacher's
she did. She
the
did.
teacher's pet didn't hold her down though. That's what gets me tight.
But I'm just saying, like,
But she was a sub.
Teacher's pet.
before.
So what? Like, there's always a teacher's pet
She was a
somewhere,
sub,
bro.
dude. It was
Listen,
on her
listen.
class.
Even when we were in school, when the sub came in,
You used to treat the sub bad,
Come on.
dude. That was
come
law.
on. Let's
But
be honest.
That was law, fam.
I get it, but there's
Salute to the
there's
subs.
there's a line that she crossed, and at the end of the day, we can't say she's guilty before she's innocent. We don't know what the teacher said. We don't know what transpired. We want to say she's like, hey, charge her, but let's get all the facts first before. I would like if we're right, if the evidence is right on the video, charge her, guilty in my book, but.
One dusty road elbowed to the
But
top of the head.
it still comes down to
good
like
for her like that.
I think it still comes down to like even if the teacher said something out of line, she was out of pocket.
You still can't
You still
cross that
have that
line.
respect for your elders.
Facts. Cause teachers used to say some wild stuff to us back in the day. Like
But is
let's
it?
keep it 100.
I don't think there's no longer a healthy fear of adulting.
I agree.
There's not that healthy.
There's
fear
no there's
anymore.
definitely no like, all right, cool, you're a certain age, I was raised a certain way not to speak to you. No matter what you say to me, I'ma just keep it.
Like,
I'ma
there's
just
a
keep it
healthy,
100.
like
You know
for me,
what?
like it's a healthy fear for my mother.
Yeah,
and
100%.
And even my grandmother. Like, listen, as I got older, I'm like, hey, ma, and she gave me that look, or she said, all right, enough. I'm stewing. I'm walking away. I'm talking a lot of shit, pardon my French, but I'm just saying.
Is it
But
French
the-
though?
huh?
Is it French?
Is it fit food?
Can I add one thing?
Make it quick, we gotta go to break.
All right, I want to add one more thing. Yo, I be seeing some of these teachers, bro. They be coming to school with the thing out, like, you know what
That got
I'm saying?
nothing to do with what we talking about, fam. That got nothing to do with what we talking about.
But, like, you gotta understand,
Here goes another hole.
like, it all goes hand in hand.
What this got to do with two women
Like,
talking about each
yo,
other?
when I was in school, my teachers weren't wearing like tight.
After the break, we gonna talk about Tom Brady. I'm out of here. Like,
Doesn't go hand in hand at all. But
Like how do you get a broken leg off of that, bro?
Scoop is crazy. He went.
The thing ain't got nothing to do with a broken leg.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
shout out somebody else's podcast.
Yeah, don't make it the joint. What's up?
All even.
All Even
Yo, it
podcast.
ain't even up here, boy. We put this yo something. All even.
Yo, you. Oh my God, what's up with you, man? Now you. Well, that's a shout. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump
All
in the
Even
camera?
podcast, right?
Yeah, all
Shout out
even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast.
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
D. What is it, D? Oh, shout out, D. Oh.
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back, y'all.
I'm not saying it no more. I'm not saying it no more.
Listen, we went left, but we're trying to get back on course, man.
We ain't get back on course yet.
I said we're
back?
trying to.
No, we back.
I said trying.
We back. We back.
You sure?
Welcome back.
Yo,
Only
back, y'all.
person that left is you.
facts.
No, I was driving the car. Y'all was with me.
Nah, we kicked you
almost
out the
crashed.
car. We kicked you out the car.
You almost crashed against that old lady when you made that left.
All
Your
right.
seatbelts don't work, by the way.
Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do this, I'll need my news team at my side. News team, assemble! News team, assemble!
Tom Brady calls it quits
Bell time.
after 23 years in the NFL.
Get him out of here.
And he did it very cool and smooth. Was on a beach, looking cool. You know what I'm saying? Got a little emotional when he talked about my competitors. But thoughts on Brady? Do you feel that retiring was the right move, or do you feel that he still has some juice left in the tank?
I think he retired because he wants his wife back. He wants his family back.
He wants to fix
That's
the
a
game.
narrative.
I think that's the main reason he did it.
And he got a check.
Because
He good.
if he didn't retire last season, why would he retire this season?
Well, maybe he really wanted to play out of his contract, because remember, he's still on the contract. So probably looked at it like, hey, just let me finish. Can I finish? Let me just do what I gotta do.
It's so hard to stay composed. So many things I want to say.
Now you can be you, just
A lesser version.
He saw her
Right.
in that dress. He saw his wife in that dress, bro.
and that's gonna make him retire.
He don't want other.
He don't want
people-
nobody else to touch
Thank
that.
you. He don't want nobody else.
I ain't know
taking
somebody
off
ain't
that
touched it
dress.
already.
He logged
I'm
on
sure
to.
many people touched it, but he don't want no one else to touch it
What
but
are
him.
you saying about yourself?
It's mine and it's mine.
Listen,
I
he
don't-
went to I want that old thing back.com
Right, he saw it in that dress.
and logged
bro.
in and probably saw his old thing. He was like, nah, bro, this is it. You right, girl. I'm sorry.
I think that's what it was.
Hey, girl.
I think.
Hey,
Get
big
over
head.
here.
I think he wanted his family, but the main reason, the man said 10 years ago, I want to play till I'm 45.
He did say
And I
that.
think he's gonna tell everyone I played to mother effing 45.
He did
Facts.
say that, and we all
he-
thought that when he said that at 35 that he was crazy when he said it.
All right then. So, and he proved that he still could play at a high level. Yes, he struggled this season. Yes, the numbers aren't as great because we always held Brady to a certain standard. So, any other quarterback that had those numbers, phenomenal season. Second in the league in passing yards, 20+ touchdowns, less than 10 picks. That's a great season for any quarterback. For him, but for him, that's a very down year. But can he still play in the NFL? Yes, he still got the zip in his arm.
Absolutely.
But it's like LeBron. It's like MJ. It's like all the greats. There's a time where you can't carry your team like you once could. Can he still carry a team with help? He can. But he didn't. Listen, it's time to. There's a time to hang it up.
Time to hang it up.
It's a time to hang it up, and he's right to hang it up. His son, his oldest son's getting to high school. His other son in middle school. His daughter is getting older. She getting into sports, so forth and so on. He started a family, not like Derek Jeter that started a family after he played. He started a family while he was playing.
While he was playing, right?
So, and we all play sports here, not professionally, but we have we do have careers, and if those who have kids, they understand that sacrifice. When you care about your career, you give it your all, and certain things do get burned or get put in the back burner. His kids has been in the back burner for how long?
23 years.
So
Well, for the better part, not the whole 23,
15,
but
15 years. So now it's like, all right, let me stop being selfish. Because on his documentary that he put on Facebook, Time for Brady, or whatever it's called.
Time versus Time.
Time versus Time. There we go. He did say I'm selfish. And
well, most of the greats are.
So now it's time to be.
Yeah.
Now it's time to be selfish in a different way. Let me be a selfish dad. Let me be there for my kids. Right. I think so. 23 years. He said I'm playing to 45. He did it. He completed his goal. Move on to the next thing. He got a 10-year, $375 million contract with the Falcons.
Waiting on him. Waiting on him.
So he's not burning for cash. He's good.
Right. He's chilling.
Now just move on. Now move to the next career.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Al. I think he looked at it from maybe 3 different lenses. One, that he wants to be home and, you know, give his time to his kids and be that stay-home dad. You know what I'm saying? 2, he might be looking at his professional career and saying, all right, cool, I can be able to probably come back another year or 2, but does it really make sense to? Because a lot of times, right, when the greats, they have that burning desire to continue to play. Jordan had it. Your game will start to wane. Father Time waits for no man, right? And a lot of people don't remember Jordan's Washington days. They only remember the Chicago Bulls days, right?
They don't want to remember those days.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like this is the same thing with Brady, is that you don't want to remember him just going from team to team, being this like mercenary, right? Just chasing rings. That don't really, it doesn't look good for him. After being on a team for 19 years or one team, then you go to another team for 3, win the Super Bowl. Then you're gonna go from year to year to another team. It's just like, how long can you do that to the point where it begins to look sad? You understand what I'm saying? Right. So just retire, do what you gotta do, and I mean his career speaks for itself, man. So
does he retire as a Patriot?
100%.
Oh yeah.
Or does he retire as Tom Brady?
Nah, you gotta go down. You have to choose a team.
Listen. Robert Kraft's gonna sign him for a 1-day contract. Let him retire. Let him have a press conference.
And I think the relationship is fine. Like they've repaired. I think Belichick and him are good. You know, him and Kraft are still good. Like so, he's a Patriot, bro. He's always going to be a Patriot. When he went to Tampa Bay, he left there to prove a point.
He was 12.
He never wanted to leave. He left there because he was forced out. You know what I'm saying? Because Belichick was like, all right, I'm done. Like I want to know what life is without Tom Brady here.
Oh, he found out.
He found out.
He could have had another chip. He played himself.
But you're going to learn today.
But listen, sometimes you have to see it, right? Sometimes you got to see what life is without the other half. Like Jordan never saw that without Pippen. That's fine. They had that success, but Kobe and Shaq split up. There's a whole bunch of, Shaq and Penny Hardaway split up. There's a lot of great duos that have split up during the time because they wanted to see how they did it by themselves.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Those duos you all named, right, had success after the split, right?
Well, we didn't know that prior, though.
I'm just saying. So the difference is, right, Belichick could coach for another 10 years, let's just say. Mm-hmm. Brady knew that he had a certain window, so he had to win now. All those examples that you named, the Kobe and Shaq and Penny, Jordan and Pippen, they left, they split up at the apex. So they still had time to prove. Kobe won 2 rings without Shaq. Shaq won an extra ring without Kobe. Shaq won 4 rings without Penny.
Pippen ain't had no time when he left.
Well,
he was an old man when he left Chicago because they didn't want him there.
Well,
he looked old when he went to Portland. They got washed by the Lakers.
Like an old pack of camels.
Yeah, he washed.
But didn't he bring that? Didn't he bring Portland to the Western Conference Finals?
And they lost.
Fat out.
And they never returned.
Fat out. But we can honestly say that he took his team far. Where Jordan, I believe Jordan didn't take those 3 years off, second retirement. He was still at a high point in his game, still at the apex, right? Mm-hmm. He could have proven that he could have won without Pippen or let's say Phil Jackson. At least Pippen can say, "Hey, without Jordan, I still carried the Bulls. Without Jordan, I still went to the Western Conference Finals. I got into a match with the behemoth of the Lakers and Kobe Young and Shaq is dominant, and you got the great coach and Phil Jackson with Tex doing a triangle offense, which is that team was just stacked.
He showed that he was more than capable.
He showed that he was capable to exactly lead and still be successful. So my whole thing is, my whole long-winded point is, Belichick got time. Brady didn't have that much time, so Brady went to the best situation possible. Look, Jameis Winston 30 for 30, right? 5,000 yards.
But what did he do when he got to Tampa Bay?
He won.
He went. No, that's not what I'm talking about. He won, yes. But when he got there and saw how another organization is so willy-nilly and free and they do things differently, he tried to clean it up and bring the Patriot way to Tampa because he was like, listen, I need discipline. This is what y'all need. Y'all need somebody to be able to give you some accountability and win. They won the Super Bowl, and then what happened was he didn't like how Bruce Arians did certain things, and he wanted to control the narrative because where he comes from is stability. Where he comes from, there's a certain way of doing things, and that's what he tried to bring to Tampa. And when they fought it back, then he was like, all right, let me go to Miami. Let me go to Miami and go somewhere else. So Brady understood that, yes, he has to leave because he had to leave. But what he still did was he still brought that same discipline from New England to Tampa Bay. He showed them the Patriot way in a different way. You understand what I'm saying? So so they're still connected, right? They're still connected in a way of how he won in Tampa. And that, I think that kind of shows the brilliance of who Tom Brady is, of where he came from, of the discipline, of all the sacrifices that he made in New England. Playing for Bill Belichick is not easy. You hear a whole bunch of players talk about that Patriot way. It ain't easy. You know, Chad Johnson said it ain't easy. Like, a lot of guys that have come in there said that this is not an easy place to deal with. And Tom dealt with that for 19 years. So, you know, I respect him, man. I think that's one of the main reasons why he was like, I'm not going to find that anywhere else. And I just don't want to be a mercenary anymore. So I'm just going to walk away. Walk away while you know that you can still do it, but at the same time, walk away knowing that you're not going to look like a sucker out there. Like, you're not going to look like Karl Malone. You're not going to look like all of these other players that just stick around way too long because you're trying to get another chance at a ring.
Like Drew
or
Brees.
Another chance. Whoever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, every athlete gets the call. And sometimes you don't pay attention to that call. Like, you leave that phone ringing. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you get it. You get that call. And I think Brady, he can still play. But at the same time, he's just like, what's the point? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to play until I'm 50 and then my kids are going to hate me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of sacrifices that he had to make. But I respect him for it. Where does he fall all time? Obviously, there's there's the rings. There are the numbers. Who has him as number one?
I do. 1,000%.
Okay, so
I'm not even
Chili McFreeze, you got him as number one. Al, you got him as number one.
A Patriots
Fang McFrost, what you got him?
Tampa Bay fan, but
if you're going based
number
off
one.
of
just whatever your opinion is, bro. Like, not based on anything.
Well, I base it off of the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
So he's number one for you.
He has to be.
Okay.
Who else has done what he's done?
Claw?
I'm not familiarized with anybody else's numbers.
You watch a lot of football. Is he the best quarterback that you've ever seen? It doesn't matter about the numbers.
If we're going for wins, or is he the best quarterback?
Is he the best quarterback that you've ever seen? That's not about the numbers.
He's back.
Respectfully, bro. I'm pleading the fifth.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He's back.
Well, the reason why I think he's number one, and the numbers, the rings, we can all say that. Listen, from a pure quarterback talent, Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, they can throw the ball, they could spin the ball in so many different ways with different arm angles. Brady, can he throw the ball? Yes. Pretty strong arm. He can drop it like a raindrop as well. But the man showed that he could win in so many different fashions, right? The first few years, strong defense, running game, numbers okay. throw the ball all over the field with Randy Moss. He can do it that way. Him and Bill Belichick revolutionized the game by doing the short passes, and then revolutionized the slot receiver, the tight ends. He just did in so many ways, having no name receivers for years, and look at, like, for example, Deion Branch, Super Bowl MVP, but when he went to Seattle, didn't do anything, came back. Okay, so he showed that no matter what the talent that he had on the team, he was able to lead the men to championships, and to me that separates him from the rest of the herd.
Okay,
you know what else? I feel like if you took Brady and put him on the Chiefs, they're going to win the Super Bowl. But if you take Mahomes and put him on the Patriots, it's not the same situation.
I think they still win the Super Bowl.
I don't think so. Mahomes
is a different
I think
cat.
you could take, and here's the thing.
Different cat,
like,
bro.
Like you said, with a whole bunch of no-name receivers, Brady gets it done. You take any other quarterback and put them in the same situations that Brady was in, they're not doing it.
I get that, but when you talk about no-name receivers, there's one guy that he still had there. He had one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
This is true.
So if you want to talk about Mahomes, it's very comparable, right? Because Mahomes doesn't really have a dominant number one receiver right now. They're in the Super Bowl.
But I'm gonna raise my hand for that one. He won a ring without Gronk.
I'm not gonna say he didn't.
No, I'm just saying. But
that's semantics at the end of the day.
But I'm saying, he didn't have Gronk his entire career for
of course not.
23 years. Right. So he won championships.
But there's an evolution of Brady's career. When he first started, he was a game manager with a great defense.
And that's my point.
He went from that to being the guy. So the first 2 rings, he wasn't the guy. He was just the quarterback.
He's a chameleon.
Yeah,
he's a chameleon.
He evolved with time.
But that's what I'm saying. He's a chameleon, and that's what separates. But I think not every quarterback can fit a system, because we clearly could see there's certain quarterbacks that have to run a certain system. We saw that with Payton Manning.
I am gonna say, be honest. I think Tom Brady, for me, is definitely top 5. It's top 5.
I give him that.
I'm sorry. So who's number 1?
The greatest quarterback that I've ever seen, and we all have our different ways of grading players, right? You just eloquently laid out why Brady's the GOAT for you, right? Based on his evolution of how he took receivers that were no-name guys, and he was still able to work that system and still keep them at a dominant level no matter who was in there. That matters, right? It's important.
Well, once you're in the NFL, I don't think they always say this person is not relevant, but I feel like once you make the NFL,
you're an athlete, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, but my thing is the point that I was getting at is that when I think about greatest, I think about what your personal impact was. And for me, Brady's the greatest winner of all time. I think he's the greatest competitor. I think his competitive fire is probably comparable to probably one person, that's MJ, right? We're talking about just sports in general.
Right.
His desire to win. He was the biggest competitor on the football field. But for me, I look at impact in regards to how you played. Brady, for me, Peyton Manning is my GOAT. And the reason why is because Peyton Manning revolutionized the quarterback position. What you see quarterbacks do now is because of Peyton. Calling things at the line, changing offenses at the line. Peyton started that. It's like when Steph brought the three-point ball, he revolutionized the game and changed it, right? So he has some type of impact historically on the game. Brady is a winner, right? He's the greatest winner. He's the most unselfish talent we've ever seen in sports because he was willing to sacrifice money for winning. He knew that I'm not as talented as Peyton Manning. He knew that. But what I'm going to do is win more than Peyton Manning. I'm not as talented as maybe a Drew Brees, right? I can't sling it like Drew. But I'm going to win way more than Drew Brees. Ben Roethlisberger might be bigger than me. Pause. Right? And it's on the steel curtain, this Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm going to win more than him too. That's his legacy to me. Does that mean that you're the GOAT?
But
to me, no.
But what are we playing for? We're playing to win, no?
No, I get that, but there's a lot more that goes into being an athlete. You winning matters, right? But at the end of the day, what is your impact for me? Because if we're going to keep the same conversation in other sports, Jordan ain't the greatest. He didn't win he doesn't have the most rings. Bill Russell does. But nobody talks about Bill, right? Everybody mentions Bill Russell as what? The greatest competitor and winner in NBA history. They don't never put him in the same category as MJ. Ever. Because of impact.
If it wasn't for
because of how Jordan changed the game.
They didn't have no TVs to watch Bill back in the day.
If it wasn't for the sneakers,
that's why they couldn't see what he was
MJ.
doing.
But what I'm saying is that it's a culture.
I'm just letting you
Claude,
know.
it doesn't matter how he impacted the game, whether it's on the court or off the court, he impacted the game. He changed it. That's why people put Jordan as high as they put him. You want to talk about his accolades on the court, that's fine. But his impact on the sport is what changed it for me. You understand what I'm saying? So like that's the whole thing, is that you can't call Brady great here, but then you don't use the same category of greatness for other people and other things. He's great. He's the greatest winner.
You're chilly. How many Bill Russell games did you see?
I didn't see any.
Claude, how many Bill Russell games did you see?
That's why.
I don't know.
It's the visual. You didn't get a chance to see him.
Right, you didn't get a
Even
chance
back in the day
to
when people
experience
were
it.
trying to watch TV, they didn't have TVs to actually watch this guy. They
I don't
didn't
even
have
know
the
who
money
Jerry
to
West
actually
is.
watch him on television.
So he's the greatest for y'all because y'all don't focus on history. Y'all focus on what y'all saw.
So
No, I focus on history.
So first,
But go ahead.
when I
I'm talking
think-
about them. I'm not talking about your conversation.
When I think the greatest player of all time, I think the greatest player that I've seen.
Right.
Not over time. I can say Bill Russell is the greatest. 11 championships. Nobody has that.
I give you that.
But I didn't visually see him at all. In the next 20 years, it's going to be the same thing for Jordan.
Right.
In the
Then
next
like,
20 years after that, it's going to be the same thing for.
If it wasn't
hopefully
for the
it's like
sneakers,
LeBron or
Jordan would not
somebody,
be
but it's-
relevant,
it's-
bro.
So that's why that's why I asked y'all for what it is to you, because we can have this conversation all day long, right? It's gonna change no matter
Nas, bro.
who you speak to.
Well, remember, we had this conversation before, and I said I don't like when it comes to basketball, I don't like to say who's the
Right,
GOAT
there's
because
errors.
There's different errors.
There's different errors.
You can
so
say
does that
who's
apply
the
to
greatest
does that
of the
apply to
era.
football?
I think that
Yeah,
does.
I think so.
But
I mean,
it
to
does-
be
I
honest
think
with
so.
you,
It has to. It
Because
has to.
they
So
both
for the
they
next-
both play in the same era.
the
But
next-
please go ahead, Bank.
my bad. For the next 15 years, Tom Brady's going to be the greatest quarterback until he ages out. Where somebody's like, oh yeah, it's not Tom Brady anymore. Now it's Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
now
but at the
it's
same-
maybe Joe Burrow.
But at the
Maybe-
same time, what Fang is saying makes sense because the errors are different.
yeah,
right?
once you age out of your
Like
era,
Patrick
you know?
Mahomes is gonna be in an era where there's nothing but passing yards,
Right.
So he's gonna crush Tom Brady's records maybe in 15 years.
As long
you know
as
what
he
I'm
can.
saying?
The same way Braun did MJ.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like these things it's all about your particular opinion.
Right.
That's why we can be able to have this conversation for 7 hours if you want to.
I don't necessarily agree with
based
your
on- it's
opinion,
based-
though.
But that's my opinion.
I don't like it.
That's fine. You're a LeBron hater, so we not gonna have that conversation here.
I'm not a hater.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just not the biggest fan.
That means
LeBron
you're a
is
hater.
nice.
After the break, we're gonna talk some more football. There's some other stuff going on after the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome
Just
back.
late.
Welcome
Just
back.
late, man. You gotta be on time, baby. You gotta be on time.
Welcome back.
I just wanted to say it.
Oh, you just want to say it? Okay, cool. Now,
There was an echo effect.
this is
I'm just
echo
saying,
chamber,
you
right?
know,
That's some
welcome
delay
back,
on it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I like synchronicity, if that's a word.
Welcome back, y'all.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to see me in Scrabble, bro.
I don't want to. No, I don't. Okay, just like you want to see me in GoldenEye, chump.
Oh God.
What's up?
You won't be able to see me. I'll be odd job.
You cheating already?
Looking on your screen, he's cheating.
One knee, baby.
Now, this is a topic for the resident conspiracy theorist in the room, and that's Claw.
Tate's innocent, bro.
Did y'all hear Arian Foster on this podcast?
Yes.
Arian Foster, guys, did you hear it? No, yes, no.
I didn't hear it. No.
Al heard it. You didn't hear
hear
it? Okay, cool. So now we gonna break news for these people.
Yeah.
Me and you, Al. Arian Foster was on a podcast and said that the NFL is rigged.
Scripted.
And it's scripted. So
I think we all know that.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, it's in their
Old news.
Yeah. This is like
in
wrestling.
their policy or something like that.
Yeah.
So what, y'all all believe this?
Oh yeah.
Guy gets the Brandon Marshall dreads and then surprised by this. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Al, you are the
70% real.
You have
30%.
you have been the voice
fictitious.
of reason in this podcast so far. Please, I give you the floor first because I'm not dealing with him today.
Is it real as like a full script? No. But is there players have came out in the past and said, hey, like our famous 𝐦𝐤𝐤, quarterback 𝐦𝐤𝐤, he said when he was with the Patriots, listen, you're not gonna play this week, we're gonna say you're injured. Are there things of that sort that happen? Yes. Is there rhyme or reason for that to happen? Of course. And at the end of the day,
There's narratives.
There's always because of the bottom line. Now, is there a full script for every player? No. And the reason why I say that is because this is a violent sport. And if I'm going to sign up for a script, personally, I need my money guaranteed.
Facts.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Is wrestling guaranteed?
Thank you.
Is wrestling guaranteed?
It is guaranteed.
Yes, it
Is
is.
it? It is guaranteed?
It is guaranteed.
You signed that contract?
It's been guaranteed
So-
since the
You
NWO
signed that
came
contract?
out.
You're going to get your
here's
money.
what we're gonna
So
do.
it
So
just
here's what we're gonna
defeats
do.
your
So
argument.
hold on. So I'm sorry, Claude. So my thing is, regardless if I'm signing up to put my body on the line, I'm not signing up. If I'm signing to put my body on the line, I'm not signing up where my money's not guaranteed.
Valid.
So if I'm signing $100 million contract and I'm only guaranteed $50 million,
Right.
Less than that.
I'm gonna go play another sport.
What?
That's my thing.
Right.
Can I?
But you go ahead, please.
Hey, let me just get the hoodie off. Let me get right. Here's the thing,
Here
right?
goes the
The
bottle
master
caps.
of making
knock
noise.
Here we go.
Like
Here
I
goes
to
the bottle
kick him off
caps.
the pod, bro.
Here it is, right?
Like,
Let's
dude.
break this down. Basketball, fully guaranteed.
Yes.
Baseball, fully guaranteed.
Yes.
We just said wrestling, fully guaranteed.
Yes.
But wrestling's scripted.
I'm not.
I
100%,
don't
right?
follow.
Follow me, right?
I'm here.
Football
here
is
so far.
football is completely full on contact, right? It's not fully guaranteed if you can't compete. You have a harder time competing in football than you have in baseball and basketball combined. So at the end of the day, of course, the contracts, quote unquote, would not be fully guaranteed because at the end of the day, you're not fully guaranteed to even make it out of a season.
Hence why it's not scripted.
No, it could still be scripted. You just may not be able, as the player, to make it out of the week.
I'm
Most
with Claude.
players get injured during practices. How many times we've got the text on Tuesday? Brandon Jacobs out for the year. Whoever out for the year because of what? He tweaked his knee in practice. It's a physical game.
Well, check this out, right? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Please go ahead.
I'm throwing
Check
you the
this out,
alley.
right?
I
Listen,
am
it's my
not
Tom
saying
Brady
a
pass.
word on this segment.
All right, now listen
at
to
all.
this, right?
I'm not doing
We
it.
all love wrestling, right? Monday night. How many times have we seen wrestlers wrestle nobodies? Complete nobodies, right? You got some guys in the league who are kind of nobodies, you know?
Fillers.
So,
Wood filler and a hot dog.
right, you got to have your fillers, you know?
Gotta
So-
have your fillers, right? And
You get
but,
a chance. I send everybody
Phil.
something.
But this is my thing.
Look at that.
And this is my thing only, Claude. I'm gonna check your text out in 2 seconds. My thing is this. In the NFL, when you sign that contract, the money gets put in escrow, right? Now, these are billion-dollar owners. They know how to manage money. In any other sport, you get injured, technically it doesn't come from the owners anymore. It comes from insurance.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, there's an insurance policy for each player.
By all means.
So I think that argument is a little flawed from that standpoint.
It's still an insurance company making money.
Someone's making money, right?
Yeah.
So and like
Beyond
I said,
that, there's still someone making.
And like I said,
right.
it's all about the bottom line. Yes, are they fillers? Are going to be scrubs? Listen, it's
100%.
The NFL Hall of Fame has less than 400 people, and then over 100,000 players came through the NFL.
Correct.
So yeah, it's a man sport. It's a man of man sport. So it's a gladiator sport. So can't be fully scripted.
Sparta.
You know what I mean? You know, people do not entertain for no reason. I entertain for my dollars. Give me my money, then I entertain. That's the NFL.
So he threw you for a loop because there's a reason why he even wants to bring this up. I know his psyche. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't let the sunglasses fool you. He's not Roddy Piper in that movie with the glasses back in the 80s. Like, he's not him. He understands of a conversation that I've had with him, and it was before clausism was a thing. If you look at the track record, and this is only you that messes it up, you had the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Who won that Super Bowl?
In Tampa Bay? The Bucks.
You had the Super Bowl in L.A. Who won that Super Bowl?
The Rams.
Were those not new stadiums in those places?
Raymond James is not a new stadium.
Actually, it's not. It was built 20 years ago.
So I'm right once. I'm right once then.
I'm about to leave.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, your man know you want to give me a shot because you just want to give me one thing to be wrong about, and that's it.
Because when people want to have their conspiracy theories and then they are proven wrong,
I'm proven wrong
then
on one
what
of them.
happens is that they
But
just
if you look
move
for the narrative, it's there, bro.
They just, see, I'll let you speak. When they move the narrative down the street, it's always going to be something else. So now it's Arian Foster talking about the NFL is scripted.
Hurricane
What?
Katrina?
Valid.
You don't think it is?
No.
What happened after Hurricane Katrina?
Absolutely not.
Because if CNN don't tell him, you don't get it.
So put it like this.
Absolutely not, dude.
Put it like this.
Dan Rather has to tell you it's true. You be like, you know,
Absolutely
we're gonna
not.
talk about
There's
this tomorrow.
no reason why the NFL is scripted. If you want to talk about something else, movies, it's scripted.
It's gonna be
Wrestling is scripted. Dudes running into each other at full speed and people getting hurt. So that whole DeMar Hamlin thing is scripted? They scripted that?
I could go in there. I ain't gonna go there.
So these are things that happen. It's just like wrestling.
There's always going to be a
hurt,
casualty.
right?
There's always going to be casualties.
Exactly.
It's a contact sport.
Every season is a casualty.
It's football.
Every game there's a casualty.
Yeah, it's a fact.
But
So
go ahead,
It's football.
Look at Brian Flores or Miami
Okay?
when he was like, they didn't want me to win.
Because they wanted
win,
to pick.
but-
That's tanking.
But
That's
a
not
part of
scripted.
scripting.
Yeah, it was scripted.
That's a part of it.
That's not the same.
What?
Stop.
It is. It is. Come on. What do you mean?
It's not
The
same.
Sixers.
So when you sitting here,
strategy
It's
is
not
scripted.
scripted.
It's not the
The
same.
Bro,
Sixers tank.
if you
for
say I'm
years.
gonna lose, that's a script.
Yo,
That's
the
you.
Knicks,
That's
yo,
a
the Knicks
play.
take every year,
That's
bro.
a strategy.
Same thing.
No, it's
Shit
not.
still don't work,
guys. Come on.
I cursed.
A strategy and a script are two different things.
Facts.
Bro,
Listen.
Hold
If
on,
you're
wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
you're gonna lose the
Now,
game.
we getting out of control. We getting out of control. Hold on,
Everybody chill.
hold on.
Everybody
Bring it
down.
down. Bring it down.
Everybody
Bring it down.
Everybody
Can I
bring
say-
it down.
can I just
Wait.
say one thing?
Wait. Just bring it down. Bring it down.
Can I just say
Bring
one
it down.
thing?
You gonna get to speak. I got you.
All right, cool, man.
Damn, Claude.
Script and a plan.
Bro,
Two different things.
it's a
And
part
because of that.
It's a part of the script.
Because of that.
Dummy. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say the two based on your argument, right?
That's what he
2
wanted to
years.
do.
This man, second year, he started out 1-8. He won 8 games straight. End of season 9-8.
That was a good season.
If it's scripted like you said, then why this past season or this current season still technically, they're 9-8 again with a different coach, with the guy that they wanted, with the new
Because
receiving corps.
they
Come
didn't
on,
keep
man,
the guy that
man.
they needed. How about that?
Man,
They
shut
should
up.
have kept Brian.
Yo,
They should have kept Brian.
Yo,
They
Big.
went to
And
the
look,
second
hold
round.
on.
I'm with
Not
you,
just
bro.
the first.
And look what he did with that defense in the Pittsburgh.
Who?
Brian Flores.
Turning it around.
He turned that around, and they almost
that's what I'm saying.
But it's not.
That's
scripted.
what I'm saying.
What does that have to do with scripting?
Listen,
it's a part of the
talent
that they wouldn't follow.
going to another team.
If it's
I'm
scripted,
putting his
listen.
Yo, I got
with Brooklyn today, bro.
I expected more out of you. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
If it's scripted, then why they end up with the same record? Because they got what they wanted. At the end of the day, they got what they wanted. Supposedly, they got the man out. They got their quarterback to start. Hopefully, he has a good career. He's no longer injured. Not scripted, right? Concussion when he's.
But look,
not to be fun.
Respectfully,
not to make fun, but that's a serious thing. Concussion's very serious.
I can't do that.
But his fingers was twisted where he shows signs of he was concussed. Right. So that's not scripted. They got the man to start. The man that they want to start, they got.
He was a casualty of war.
It's not scripted.
I have an inside contact who's heavy into Miami Dolphin organization and fan base, who advised me early on that there's a lot of politics going on within the organization itself and what they're trying to accomplish.
Isn't that every organization?
I'm talking about my moment. You can hold your mic. You let me finish. You let me talk, right?
I'm just asking.
All right. At the end of the day, and all I can say is this: the NFL is about the numbers. Yes?
It's entertainment, man.
It's all about February. Yes or no? And Vegas plays a big part in the process. Yes or no?
Yeah,
without a doubt.
FanDuel is every commercial.
That
yes
we wouldn't even
or
be
no?
able to.
Let's get to it. Respectfully, and I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna be him. If DeMar Hamlin passed away, there was no gambling going on in February. It would have got too real.
Al, you think I want to make?
Can I have my moment? I'm still asking the question. I'm looking for responses around the room. Everybody's looking at me crazy.
I'm with you, Claude.
I'm gonna say. Listen, before I respond, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure it's clearly stated. Concussion is not a joke. That was
this is not a joke. It's not a joke.
That was a bad joke on my part, and I apologize.
By all means,
because
salute.
Concussions are very serious.
And I'm saying this for the reason of what you said, and it's not a shot at all.
No, I know.
By all means.
And I just want to
clearing it up.
I just want to make it clear
we here.
for the audience that
Everybody knows.
are very serious. And listen, I hope everyone who ever got concussed is
for sure
good now.
By all means.
DeMar Hamlin.
I'm a little cuckoo.
I'm gonna. It's unfortunate.
What happened?
The NFL did the right thing by canceling the game.
Correct.
But it's like, and it's what I'm gonna say is unfortunate, but it's like time, man. It's not going to just wait for one person. It's going to continue.
So we're going on hard. That's on hard.
What I'm saying, it's going to continue because why? Because we've seen horrific injuries and situations. But look at like Joe Theismann with this leg where his leg blew up. Look at Alex Smith. It just continues.
Here's my thing,
it's
though.
unfortunate.
Here's my thing, though.
It was gonna still be bettors and people that bet, and Vegas is still going to make money. NFL is still going to make money.
It's a great point that he just made. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at Phil here, and Phil's going to understand what I mean, right? If the NFL was scripted like y'all say, and I'm not going to fight y'all on whatever y'all think, because it's what y'all think at the end of the day. But would you not think the NFL was scripted? What was the biggest script of this year? It would be DeMar Hamlin going down and the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl because they've never won a Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be the biggest script of all time if this was scripted?
You know what that would be?
It would be Buffalo, the biggest city
that would be a dead giveaway. That would be a dead giveaway.
What? Okay, that's a dead giveaway. So they got hide the script now. It's a hidden script.
It'd be a dead giveaway.
I'm out LA messing with you right now.
Yo,
Look at you crazy.
The picture that I sent you, hold on to it till next season.
Yo, my man.
So why did Pat Mahomes even play the game, bro?
So you don't agree with me?
If it's scripted, why he even play? Why do you have to?
Yo, Al looks at you like you need to go get them glasses checked out and go get some bifocals attached to them joints. That's what Al gave you to look like.
I'm with you with the point of it's not scripted, but if Buffalo won, there are just too many variables to have to quote unquote.
Buffalo just had a blizzard. It was
sort out. So I don't think.
You're going semantics. I'm talking about script wise.
No,
I'm talking about just the story.
I'm gonna bring it home.
There's a lot of improv in this.
I'm gonna bring it home. By all means. All right. it's not. It wouldn't fit the quote unquote NFL narrative.
Exactly.
Right? Because if it was scripted, right, I would think you got the person that all the pundits are saying is going to be the next Brady. Started out the season 2-4. You're making my point, so and your point is the opposite of mine.
But we're making the same point, though.
Okay,
we're saying the same point, right?
Okay, I'm overall. But yeah,
hold on, I got you, Al.
Okay, the next that all the pundits are saying Joe Burrow is going to be the next Brady, this and that. Is it going to be the next Manning and Brady between him and Patrick Mahomes? And the Super Bowl hangover, can he get over that? Clearly, the script would have been him going back and avenging the loss that he had last season with the fixed offensive line.
That's a better script than Damar Hamlin's script?
I think
way better.
Yes, it's a better script. You know why?
Way better.
Because and then I'll tell you the reason why.
Way better.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because I think if Joe Burrow is still with the Bengals and they're able to keep a good team around him, the NFL is gonna try to push. When I say push, just market him and Patrick Mahomes as the next two great superstars.
They're already doing that.
Right. But because
they have to.
But I'm saying, the script would fit better if it's those two. And it's Josh Allen, he doesn't have the cachet like a Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. So if it was a quarterback that got injured, like Josh Allen, okay, I could see, team rally, this and that, the guys, the best player on the team, so forth and so on. But Damar Hamlin, he was just a freak. It was a freak accident. But I don't think.
That's a narrative more than a script.
You're not accepting it.
It's a narrative.
No, it's not.
They pushed the same narrative with Brady and Manning for 10 years.
And can I ask you a question?
Here's my hand now.
And can I ask you a question?
One guy won more than the other did.
And hold on. And
one guy won way more than the other did.
Supposedly,
Raise my hand.
Supposedly, the NFL schedule is supposed to be a computer that picks all the games.
Nah, they picked that themselves.
I know. So that's the word, right?
Sean Watson week 12.
So my thing is, hold on. That's my thing is somehow they always market those games, Brady, Manning, playoffs, regular
because that's
season.
what people want to see.
Who wants to see Buffalo?
What I'm saying is
but
that
but I'm saying, but who wants to see
people in Buffalo who want to see Buffalo? What are you talking about? Listen.
Besides
the point that I'm making is that the world was focused on this one story
that happened.
And it had nothing to do with football at the end of the day. Everybody
after 2 weeks
were rooting for Buffalo. Everybody.
But after 2 weeks,
even people who weren't Buffalo fans rooting for Buffalo.
True.
Right?
But
so
after 2 weeks,
we're going to talk about a script.
After 2 weeks.
That's the script. Just like when the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl because of what? Katrina.
When did Katrina happen?
But 2 years after.
Doesn't matter.
2 years after.
Yo.
But no, the city came back. So no, I get your point.
That's what I'm saying. It's a story.
I get your point.
That's a script.
That's a story.
But it's not. But it's not sexy enough to sell.
We are in the era,
and sexy sells.
I would beg to differ.
And after listen, hold on. But
that's why everybody buy me.
But after 2 weeks, it wasn't as big of a story as it when it first.
Because they lost.
Respectfully,
they lost.
Because it wasn't.
They lost.
Because it wasn't the story. Yo,
during that whole game, all they talked about was Damar Hamlin's
right.
Game. He's there. He's said hi to his team, book him in the skybox, and he's just hit the shadowy outline.
Turn the mic
of
the
him.
other way, dude.
You don't even know if it's
it was
you don't even know if it's it.
You can hear.
He's there.
You can still pick him
Damar
up.
Hamlin's at the game. Said hi to the team.
But go ahead,
It would have been the same shit.
But at the end of the day, the NFL is they're looking for the new king.
They already have it.
They don't.
It's Mahomes.
Now it's Mahomes.
Mahomes is the king.
Right, but
he's always been the king.
But the king battle just took place this last weekend. It just happened.
Dude,
so now he has
happened
to
last year too, and
Fantastic.
Burrow got the end. Burrow won.
So now he has.
That's their narrative.
But
it's not a script.
It's still his league.
It's been his league.
All right, but he has to prove it. So now he has to win in order to win up the dynasty. What other way?
The man has gone to 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Congratulations to him. He has to win. How many did he win?
Bro, if he goes to another 5 Super Bowls and only wins 2 out of those 5, that means that he's been to 8 Super Bowls.
He has to
win. Whether
win.
he wins 2, 3, or 4 of those,
He's been there.
He's still been there.
He's
so he's still the king.
Has to
No,
win.
he doesn't, dude.
Yes, he does.
He does not.
He doesn't necessarily have
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he has to win one.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily have to
Doesn't
win.
have to.
Dan Marino's not the king.
He has
He
to
has to
win.
win one.
Football,
Show him the cat.
but
He has
football's
to win
different.
one.
Wait, no, but time out.
Football's different.
Time out. I'm gonna ask you a question, right? And it's maybe going a little left. But in the
This
early
whole
ni-
pod is
I
going left,
love
so go
left
ahead.
questions.
No, I'm not going that left. You know,
Pod is going left, so
I'm
go
not going
ahead.
off the dirt. I'm not going off the road to the show.
It's already going left.
Get your mountain
Go ahead.
bike.
So, the early '90s, 4 straight Super Bowl by Buffalo Bills.
Right.
They ran into how many teams? The Giants,
Dallas.
the Cowboys, and 49ers.
Right.
So was Joe Kelly
Niners.
the guy? Was he the king? Was he the guy?
Jim Kelly.
Excuse me. Joe, I'm sorry.
He was the. He
Don't
was
even
the
remember
guy.
his name.
Sorry, I got his last name.
He was the guy.
Good. Sorry.
He
Jim
was the
Kelly.
guy.
He was
He
the guy.
was the guy, but he didn't win the dance.
He was the guy for that. He was the guy of the NFL.
No, he wasn't the guy of the
was
NFL, but they were the Bills did something that no other team has done since.
4 straight Super Bowls.
They have their legacy. That those teams are in historical standing as one of the greatest teams of all time.
never won.
Whether they won or lost. You got the 4 straight Super Bowls, bro.
Yeah, 4
and they
straight.
lost, and the two of those 4 games that they lost, they only lost by a very small margin of victory. So that team is, when you think about the history, we're talking about people who understand the historical standpoint of football. That team is in the upper echelon of great teams, no matter if they won or lost.
And fair point, and I concur there, but he was the guy, but not the main guy. Trey Emmons was the main guy during that time.
Well, you had a lot of great quarterbacks at that time. He was just one of them.
Yeah,
he was just one
at
of
the
them.
end of the day, like in this era now, if he went to 10 Super Bowls, but the thing about it is that if Patrick Mahomes went to 8 Super Bowls and won only 3, he went to many Super Bowls and people had to take him down, right? So I get he will be that guy regardless if he wins or not, right? Jim Kelly went, but the difference is he didn't.
Jim Kelly was never Patrick Mahomes.
He should have won at least one.
He was never Patrick
And that was the
Mahomes, so
Giants
they
one.
never looked at him like
And that was the
that.
Giants
And
one.
that's where it stops.
Yeah.
But good conversation, y'all. It went completely left. After the break, we got some more.
He has changed the game, whether you like it or not. He's changed it. He's impacted the game in some fashion or form.
I'm gonna find a bar mitzvah for you to go to. And you gonna turn that motherfucker out.
Yeah, all the gals watching.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
All the gals watching. Minus 6.
And I would like to formally welcome you to
Welcome.
welcome
And welcome
the grid.
To the grid. To the grid.
to the grid.
Welcome to the grid.
And welcome to the grid.
Welcome to the grid.
Welcome back, y'all. So, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was in a kerfuffle. He was charged with, was it assault with a gun? Something happened at a club and he pulled the firearm out on a lady, and it escalated quickly. Like, we heard about it, and he got charged, and then I think it was sometime today his charges got dropped. And they're dropped and they can be refiled at a later date, though. So if the victim wants to pursue it, or if they find more evidence, they can be able to refile the case. But what people have an issue with is how quickly it made the news. It made the waves, right? So like you say, you like to hear both sides of a situation before you kind of call somebody guilty or not, right? Which is fine. Joe Mixon didn't get that shot. When the news broke, they broke it. They even had the quotes about what he said to the woman. And everybody kind of just was like, oh, Joe Mixon's in trouble. So now we go from one extreme to the next where the charges is dropped. So where do we go from here? And my question to the room is too much media coverage bad? Because something like that where it should be able to allow to give it some chance to breathe, where you get more details, you get more evidence before you kind of make it spread like wildfire. Like, how y'all feel about that in regards to how quickly something can spread through the media? Whoever can take it, who wants to.
Well, you know how it is. It's always been the same way. Whoever breaks the news first, you know, they're like, all right, Fox, we got the scoop on the story.
All right.
You know, everybody wants to be first to break the news. So as soon as they hear about it, of course they're gonna run with it. And down the line, you know, more details come in and the story always changes. But most naturally, this is football player versus female.
Black football player.
Yes, versus female. You already know how that's gonna go. And then once it's, you know, debunked and it's proven that maybe this didn't really happen the way they say it, you know, the football player still never gets his fair shake. It just kind of gets washed away. Like, all right,
still
whatever.
a price to pay for him,
right? Because the media is not going to come
loss.
out and say, "Hey,
No.
listen, you know, this is the update and this is what's going on now." They're not trying to clear the guy's name.
Right.
They're just breaking the story.
Yeah, then it's
so
just leave it
whatever
alone.
whatever ramifications comes from that from the individual, it's not their business. And I feel that that's kind of negligent.
Without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Because if the team were to catch word of it, because obviously teams are smarter than the press anyway, because they go ahead and they do their due diligence, they hire investigators, they go ahead and go deep dive and see what's going on. But for the regular, just the public, you know, public image, people don't care about doing research.
Right.
They're just gonna see the tea leaves, they're gonna see the headline, and that's exactly what it is. Especially what you said, Fang, in regards to him pulling a firearm on a woman.
Right. Well, we just saw a similar situation. It wasn't involving a firearm, but with was it Davis?
Right.
The same situation.
Oh, with Javonte Davis.
Yeah, and they come to find out that, you know,
right.
she
was the aggressor.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you also had a scenario with Kareem Hunt, and
also
It's slightly different.
You know,
it's slightly different. We saw what we saw first,
Spicy.
and it was like, oh wow, you saw it on World Star, like wow, he put, but
Right.
there was more to it in all actuality, and his target and his brand still took a hit, no matter what the situation was. He still took a hit on it.
And also, what state was this in? Where did this happen at?
Right.
Because, you know, if it's in, you know, a southern state where you know, stand your ground kind of stuff, if someone is attacking you and you can legally carry a firearm, you can pull it out.
Right.
You know? There's
a lot to it.
There's a lot of variables that go into the situation, but for them to just break it and make it seem like this man is wrong, which it happens all the time.
It's the narrative.
I think we're used to this. I think we're used to this by now.
That's what I'm trying to say is that there was a narrative that was painted,
right?
And
It'll
they
always
painted this nice picture and just left it alone.
Even
you know what I'm saying?
Even it doesn't even have to do with like athletes or anything. It's even when it's rappers, right? Like before they even say, you could not even.
It's
be
even worse for them.
But even if you're not a rapper, bro, even if you're just involved in the process or something, they'll still say, rapper such and such, da 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 da. And you're not even a rapper. You just maybe a songwriter. You may be a producer. Maybe a manager. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still gonna hit you with that tagline, rapper such and such,
because they're too lazy to do the research.
Brand somebody.
Like they're gonna just call you that and just have you fit a whole criteria of something you're not even that. You might be a singer. Like you might be a bass player. Like,
Clickbait.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And they do it on the media news, and they still classify it. So somebody watching the news, shaving their beard, getting ready to go to their Ivy League job, was like, what? Another rapper? God, another rapper. God damn it.
Right, exactly. No, it's true.
They don't care.
It's definitely
because
true.
it's already just drilled into what the personification of that individual is.
Now I think that's exactly in regards to this story. Like you hear it, and it's just like, oh, another one, another incident.
Well, also like if you look into like when was it? It's all the video games and all the rap music that are contributing to all this killing and this and that. When most of these people who are going out shooting up schools and stuff,
right,
aren't necessarily people that listen to rap music.
No, they listen to. I ain't gonna say it.
Welcome back, y'all.
I ain't gonna say it.
You want me to say it?
Nah, I don't want you to say it either. I don't want you to say it either.
But I just feel like the court of public opinion has the Italian system, which is guilty until proven innocent.
Yes.
Which is unfair, right? So at the end of the day, everything takes a hit. The person's brand, like Claude said, the person's livelihood it's all at risk. So the question I have is, there's certain situations you can't get out of, but why put yourself in that situation?
That's true too.
So why did Joe Mixon put himself in that situation?
Well, he was at a club. Well, you know how these dudes are. So you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it may not be him, it may be his
right.
company.
And that's the truth too. Like a lot of times where you'll be there having a good time, something happens, you're there, and they still name you. Yeah. So two people can be fighting because you're there.
Right.
They want to associate you with what happened when 9 times out of 10 that's not even the case.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
What happened to Iverson when he was in high school at the bowling alley? It's a perfect example where he didn't start the fight, but he was part of.
He was there.
Knew him.
He was Iverson.
And everybody fingered him.
And he was the scapegoat.
Right.
And that's privy in small markets.
So yeah,
right.
Smaller markets is definitely never gonna let you live out that life because you're the name in the market.
Yeah,
exactly. So whatever happened, let's just safely assume Joe Mixon is innocent. Now, there's for me, it's too many examples. We can go with Plaxico Burress, and for example, when you have a firearm, illegal firearm.
Illegal in New York.
In New York, he could only spent 30 days in jail if he took that plea initially, but that's the case here and there. My whole thing is, there's too many examples where something has happened where athletes now should be smarter to have the necessary folks around them to de-escalate, have security who could be licensed to carry a firearm, can prevent bad crowds or to coming your way. For example, look at Drake. Drake runs around like he's the president. And I'm not trying to be funny, but he has 2 black Suburbans full of security. Mayweather's another example where you're not going to put yourself in a situation because at the end of the day, you're not trying to mess up your income and your family. So I just have the question, Joe Mixon, where what's your responsibility in all this?
I'm gonna leave it here unless you got something to say. Fan, you got something to say?
You want me to say something?
Just as long as it ain't nothing wild.
I'm gonna shut up then.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna leave it here in regards to what you just said. Like the problem that we have with our athletes, the problem that we have with a lot of our entertainers is that whenever something happens, whether it be for historical purposes and a learning situation, and damn, that happened to this person, the mindset that they have from where they came from is, damn, that's messed up, but that's not gonna happen to me. Right. That's the problem. Instead of looking at it and be like, damn, that dude he's an athlete just like me. I could get tagged the same way. Well, I gotta look at that situation. I gotta apply it. Now I gotta put in protections to make sure that doesn't happen to me. It's the opposite. Is that sorry for you, dude, but I ain't gonna get caught like that.
Well, I think it also comes down to these people still want to try to live somewhat of a normal life. When you have that stardom or that fame, and
that normal life is over.
You can't live that normal life.
It's over.
But some people still want that normal life.
It's a big part. It's for a lot of people. It doesn't have to do with entertainers or athletes or people of power. It's people still want to be that regular person they were before they got the money.
Yeah.
And it goes a long way because you know what it is. Honestly, it helps you feel alive.
And don't think they're aren't groups out here who would just want to put you in a situation.
Of course.
Like, all right, he's at the club. All right, let's send somebody there.
Yeah,
Let's
they
just start
setting you
something
up.
with
Of
them.
course,
Let's set them up.
Listen,
you know?
they got women that they have groups that know where these athletes are, and they can be able to pinpoint exactly where they are and set things up.
they're on the team.
So it's like if people can do that, there's other facets, there's other groups that are gonna do it for the wrong reasons as well and try to set you up and make you look crazy.
And you know
what I'm saying?
Before all the facts come out, he'll wake up in the morning with a whole crowd of feminists outside of his house.
Right.
You woman basher, you pulled the gun out on the woman.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, all the details aren't even out.
And that's
Because
why,
they don't care.
And that's why Drake puts hot sauce in his condoms.
But I'm gonna say one thing before we end this segment. I don't know if I can say it now, man. We just went.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we went left, man. I don't know where we went. There's nothing on the GPS anymore, man.
We just gonna move on.
We're just lost.
We're gonna move on, bro.
Lost now. I had a good point.
Moving on. You can save that good point for the next topic. Moving on. Derek Carr. I'm a fan of Derek Carr. I ain't gonna lie.
Big fan.
Derek Carr.
Listen, I'm a
Big
fan of
fan.
Derek Carr.
Yo.
Derek Carr was at the Pro Bowl and said, listen,
I don't know what would be next.
he said he pretty much pulled the Magic Johnson like, I ain't gonna be here next year, like, right? So for him, we talked about this a few weeks back that I said that I think that Derek Carr, then the best place for him is the New York Jets. I think that's the best place for him. I think what's going on with them in regards to defense, they have a Super Bowl defense, they got a playoff defense, they got weapons, they have a great offensive line, young offensive line, good running situation. You get a quarterback like Derek Carr that's a leader, you can be able to get far because what he does based on what they had is night and day. So I believe that Derek Carr should be number one option, if not number two, right? Number two, I definitely have him at number two because obviously Aaron Rodgers is number one. If you can get Aaron Rodgers, go get Aaron Rodgers. But if you can't get Aaron Rodgers, I think Derek Carr would be a great number two option for the Jets. I mean, I'll throw it to the room. Where do you guys believe that Derek Carr should go? And what's the perfect situation for him?
Just tag this real quick. So Derek Carr saying what he said at the Pro Bowl, he upped himself in my book. He's at a 1 now. Now, I will say, wherever he goes.
I'm done with him.
Right? Wherever he goes. And there's a few places he can go.
Okay, so name it.
Send him to Tampa.
Why would he go to Tampa?
Why wouldn't he?
Tampa's a mess.
I don't think Tampa's a mess.
It is.
Tampa
dude.
still has opportunity.
Tampa has a
at
bad
quarterback.
offensive line.
It has
Tampa has
opportunity at
old
quarterback.
weapons, bro. They have old weapons.
I think
That's not a good team.
I think it's an opportunity at
Yeah,
quarterback.
Tampa's back in the rebuilding stage.
They are fully back.
They're
in the
1-13 this
I
season.
think they're gonna blow up the.
Well,
They have to.
Tampa's
whatever
gonna blow
the
up.
Godwin is going to be gone. Mike Evans is going to be gone.
blow that up. They're
The
gonna blow that
defense is going to be gone. They have old pieces, and the reason why they weren't good this year is because once that offensive line started to get those injuries, you saw how bad the running game was. And the running game, once the running game is bad, then play action is bad, and then guys can't get open on their routes. So everything kind of crumbled down from that offensive line and from the guys and those pieces getting hurt. So they just like what Al said and what Chili said, like they're gonna have to tear it down. So I think that if Derek Carr goes to Tampa, it'll be the same hell situation that he just left. Yeah, honestly.
I think so. Quickly on Aaron Rodgers, he needs to go to a situation that's
ready made
now.
Yeah.
So that's different. Derek Carr, he may have a couple years to help with the team to like get that chemistry going, get that continuity. So to me, the best situation for Derek Carr would be Indy. They already have an elite defense.
That's not a bad one either. I like that.
They have a good defense. That running game is, and that offensive line.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how Matt Ryan didn't play well.
Yeah,
bro. Matt Ryan is
that's a good
at the end
one.
of his career. Like it is what it is.
I think Matt Ryan's a shot.
And you look at Carson Wentz the prior season.
He been shot.
He had 26 touchdowns, right, or something like that, and less than 10 picks. But they had him protected. I think he just a bad quarterback
Yeah.
with his injury.
Facts.
If David Carr goes to the Jets, he turns into Joe Falco. It'd be the same thing to me.
He shouldn't go to the Jets. He should definitely.
Right.
If
In my
Vegas want to trade with any team within their conference, the AFC conference, Indy has pieces.
That's a good point.
To bring
Before-
for them to pluck back.
Before we finish, I definitely need to interject here. Did you hear what Chili McFree just said? I think that if Derek Carr goes to the Jets, he's going to turn into Joe Falco. Right?
Joe Falco.
But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. Hold on, wait a second. Hey, hold on. Isn't he the guy that is a fan of a team that ain't got no quarterback? Huh?
Wait, who don't got
Yo, listen. I'm gonna defend my guy, Ray. You know why?
I'm with him yet. I'm not done with him because if it wasn't for him,
You gotta wait on this.
Facts. If it wasn't for him, he sat here on a bet because his team won, and the last time I checked, his team got dogged in the playoffs.
Yo,
he
my
got
team
dogged in the
smashed
playoffs
your
with no
team.
quarterback.
With no quarterback.
Let me ask you something though.
Your
Barry,
team got smashed by
No
my team, so don't
quarterback.
even talk to me.
who the hell is Joe Falco? His name is Flacco.
Whatever his name is.
Joe Falco was from the replacement.
Yeah, the replacement.
Shane Falco.
Yeah,
Has
yeah,
respect.
Shane Falco.
That's the same person.
Yeah, he might as well be Joe Falco, right? Might as well be Joe Falco.
I'm gonna defend my guy. You know I'm gonna defend my guy because they went down to the third string
Don't matter.
quarterback.
Don't
And
matter.
they got to the
We had no
NFC conference game.
And they bodied your one.
Come on.
They bodied your one. Have some respect.
You got to say it like that?
Yes, I said it like
You're a
that.
Jets fan.
Because he's not a
I was
one.
literally
He's
trying
not
to
a
help
one.
you, and then you come with. You see, this is why people don't support the Jets because you don't. You don't understand.
This
This
is a
is
New York
like
podcast.
what do you call it? What do you call? What do you
it. We
call
shoot.
the What do you call the syndrome of when the cat? Thank you. Stockholm syndrome is what he has. Stockholm syndrome is what he has. I'm over here defending him.
Oh, man.
I'm defending him, and he defends his captor. What are we
it.
talking about here,
man?
What are we doing?
I ain't like no cowboy live nothing,
No.
baby.
Come
That's
on.
it.
You
This is
couldn't
why
wait
they
to talk
suffer.
about my team this week,
This
could
is
you?
why they suffer.
man.
You couldn't wait to talk about me.
Of course. Couldn't wait.
You
Don't
live
wait
in
till
the
about
you
that
live in
trash
denial
team.
worse than me, bro.
Go wait till talk about that trash team. What quarterback?
I don't even understand why they put Purdy back in.
They didn't know. They didn't
We
know.
had no
They
QBs.
didn't.
There's nobody left.
What's the running back?
No.
I would have just had McCaffrey run.
Then who's running?
I would have had Debo.
Debo. It should have been Debo.
You can't do wild
Debo
card for the rest of the game.
Because at that point now,
Debo's a gadget.
what are you gonna do? Just run the rest of the game like they did?
All I know is, come next year, in regards to those 49ers, this is what everybody gonna be saying about the 49ers.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, like that.
Ain't nobody talking about Dallas next season.
Of course not, because Dak
First
Prescott's
off,
still there.
you're not even a
Of course
Dallas
not.
fan anymore, so
Huh?
please.
Nah, I'm still
You're
here.
a Bengals fan.
I'm still
Oh,
here.
now you're a Dallas fan.
I said if they extend after the 2 years, I'm like,
Nah.
I said that. Paul, you wasn't here last week, so chill. You
Yeah, I read the report. I
You
watched
didn't
the
hear
episode.
anything because you weren't here.
I heard you got the tat already.
Huh?
I heard you got the tat.
No. I
The
don't
tiger
get tats.
stripes.
I don't get tats. But moving on. Let's talk about these coaches. Sean Payton gets 5 years. They're rumored to say that it's anywhere between $17 to $20 million per season.
That's
the bag.
And
he's a
listen,
quarterback.
at the end of the day, bro.
Quarterback rate.
At the end of the day, the owner can be able to pay you what the hell what they want to pay you. So there's no cap on that. And Sean Payton is worth it.
You'd have thought Sean Payton was a
think
college
so,
coach right now getting paid.
Yeah, you get paid way more than college coaches.
I don't think he's worth it, but
He's not worth it. Explain.
and I'll explain. He went to that one magical Super Bowl, but he had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yep.
He had a defense for the last few years before he resigned, and he could not get to back to the Super Bowl.
Was that his fault or was it the refs?
One game was the ref.
No. He got robbed several times.
But he had overtime.
Doesn't matter.
But what do you mean doesn't matter?
If you get robbed, it's a rob.
You still
Part
get
of the script.
But you hold on. But hold on.
That's
You
it.
still have an opportunity. But we talk about 1 year. Let's talk about the whole body of work. He went to one Super Bowl and then absent for another 10 to 12 years.
But can we make the same conversation about your man Bill Belichick?
We have 10 years? Because he went to 10. I mean, he went to 10 Super Bowls
with
20.
one quarterback.
Okay, and he had
name a coach that has been successful multiple times without a great quarterback or player. You can't fault a Sean Payton because he has Drew Brees. Because here's the thing: when Drew Brees got there, he wasn't great. There's a reason why he went to New Orleans, because he wasn't great. They chose Phillip Rivers over Drew Brees.
Drew Brees was great though.
Yeah,
but what happened was he was hurt.
That shoulder
and quarterbacks, quarterbacks.
They didn't know the shoulder covered.
Quarterbacks at that age with that injury, they were like, we don't know. And it was Sean Payton's system.
He was still relatively young.
It was Sean Payton's system that said, "I'm gonna take you in, young man. My system is gonna be able to accentuate your skill set and be able to maximize it and make you the greatest." So Drew Brees probably wouldn't be as good as he is without Sean Payton and vice versa. But at the end of the day, they needed each other.
I hear you, but still.
So you can't make that argument.
I can because only results to one Super Bowl. If you have
look at what you said though.
But I'm saying, but if you
one Super Bowl.
But if you had
how many teams ain't got one?
But how many great Super Bowls went to multiple Super Bowls, regardless if they won or not?
Yeah, you're right.
That's my argument. So my thing is, that man, Sean Payton, great coach. I just feel that $20 million for him for getting just one Super Bowl and not multiple appearances in the Super Bowl, it's just a steep price to pay.
It's called inflation.
I mean, that's
all inflation right there. And the price of what it used to cost and what it costs now, they're gonna pay a boatload of money.
I mean,
just
look,
to make
you got the Walton
eggs.
family that owns that team.
They're worth $74 billion. $20 million a year is a drop in the bucket for them.
They can pay it, and they're going chips in the middle.
They want to win
with both Russell and Sean Payton. But can Russell flourish in that system? We're not talking about the wins and potential wins that's going to happen. Right. We're just talking about, is he worth it? I don't think he's worth that type of
100%. And when you look at I watched an interview it's on 60 Minutes. I think Rick Rubin, the producer, was on there, right? And he said something really key. He was talking about the music process, and he was saying how everything pretty much happens. And he says the audience doesn't know what they like. They only know what is presented to them. I say that to say they only have to win one in order for it to pay off.
Right.
Whatever that money costs nowadays, and it's mumbling inflation. The price is a little bit steeper now to make it happen. All right, boom. We spent the bag to get Russell Wilson. We gave up everything to get Russell Wilson as a Denver fan base and organization. Now, all right, we fired that coach. The defense is still somewhat solid. If we pay the coach whatever we want just to make sure that we get the guys going to make the most results in a short period of time. We only have to have one. We don't have to have multiple. But if we get two, we flipped the bag already. We already sold two houses if we were real estate guys. You know what I mean?
All they really got to do is make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's it.
And it keeps the fan base invested.
Yeah. Payton went to 2 and won 1. That's all they needed.
And they give Sean more than he had to begin with. Facts. At the end of the day.
I agree with that.
Payton went to 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
He went to.
With Denver.
Yeah.
They lost to the
Wait, I'm sorry. I was talking about Sean Payton, not Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Peyton Manning. Yeah. Moving on to another head coach that just got hired. And a lot of people are raving and happy and deserves it. This is his dream job. It's great. Demeco Ryans signs a 6-year deal with the Houston Texans. Now, as I said, a lot of people are very happy for Demeco Ryans. Hell, I'm happy for Demeco Ryans. I'm happy that he's a head coach in the NFL. Am I happy about where he's a head coach in the NFL? No. Because for me, I'm just wired a little differently. If I see two people that look like me and were not treated the right way and didn't get a fair shot, I'm not going to be the third one to walk through that door. It's just my opinion. I'll ask anybody in the room. If you get hired at a job, or you're about to get hired at a job, and the two people that had that position before you were lied to, weren't given a fair opportunity, they came from the same places that you come from, have the same credentials possibly that you come from. However, you might appeal to them a little more. Maybe you're younger. You going to feel comfortable walking through that door to be the third guy?
Absolutely not.
That whatever they're telling you is going to be different than what they told the other two? That's my problem, is that what example are you setting for us? I don't want to put him in a box like that, but there's certain things that you should think about before taking a position, because there's a lot more riding on it than just accepting a job. Mm-hmm. Right? It's more important than how we're treated, more than your dream job. Because your dream job can literally turn into a nightmare if they deem you unworthy. Oh, that can happen just as fast. Maybe you rub the GM the wrong way, pause. Maybe some of the players don't respond to you and how you teach or speak. Right? It was funny, I know. It was good.
I'm just saying, you good. This is a New York podcast, man.
Yo, you almost jumped out the
But
window.
what I'm saying is that
what was that called? I'm so sorry.
yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that those things matter. So for you to think that you're going to be any different, and I've spoken to several people about, oh, well, they gave him a 6-year deal. So?
My opinion here, and if you allow me to interject.
Go ahead, bro.
Is did they treat Lovie Smith fairly? No. As a head coach who went to the Super Bowl.
What about David Culley?
You know, David Culley. I think he knew the situation. Like, hey, he's not gonna last long. He's just a pawn on the chessboard till they can get over this whole situation with the quarterback.
Bad optics, though.
So
Ow.
yes, it's a bad optic. It's bad listen. People try to calculate things. It's going to be a bad optics. My thing is, I hear your point only if there was no history already with Ryans.
Right, he's an ex-player, yes.
Ex-player, he was in that system. He knows that ownership, so there is history there. And they committed to him for 6 years. Now, will they honor that contract for all 6 years? Hope they do, and he can turn it around.
That he gets the time to.
Now, yes. But the thing about it is that I think they're aware, and their fan base is aware, that this is not going to be an overnight job where they can have the Texans back into the playoffs and 𝐥𝐿 potentially looking to win the Super Bowl. I think they know that's going to take time. Now, do they have the guy to help build that? Only time will tell. Would I walk in the door with I know the history? If I know the history of the firm or the company or the team, and I say, okay, they're giving me a shot. Listen, I think most of us would take it if we have already history there. Now, with being a black man and a black coach in the NFL, these opportunities are far and few between. Now, let's just say he turns it around within 3 years, but each year he shows, okay, I went 6-11. Or 6-12, whatever. 6-11. Then he shows that I went 8-9, and then he shows 10-7. He shows constant improvement. I think then can he say, hey, like we have a good team. We want to experienced coach take us all the way. Look what happened. I'm gonna use an example in basketball. Look what happened with the Warriors and with Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr. So my thing is, as a black man with the history with the organization, I'm gonna give that opportunity because you know why? I'm gonna show them like we always been as a people, right? we are against the odds, but we always rise above it, and we always conquer. Some of us hasn't, but there's more peaks than valleys. We have more wins than losses, in my honest opinion. When we give an opportunity in the NFL as head coaches, Lovie Smith, Tony Dungy, for two perfect examples. Tony got when Lovie Smith got a true opportunity to build a team, he took him to a Super Bowl. Tony Dungy, he got an opportunity, he took his team to the Super Bowl, and he won. So, opportunity far and few in between, but I think he's as well deserved for him. And I hope he gets it. I hope he's successful. Excuse me.
But if history repeats itself and they just chop him at the knees,
we have to hope that it doesn't happen. But my anger was just from the optics side of it. I'm happy that he got a job. It's great. Like Al said, it comes very few and far between. But for me, it just looks bad.
You gotta take a stand.
Yeah, it just looks bad when you can see what happened to two guys like that, and you're just, I'm good. Not gonna happen to me. Like, it's just.
Well, we gotta wait and see if history repeats itself.
Obviously, but
and if it doesn't,
but there's already history there.
Why even give him a chance?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's already history with Romeo Crennel there. There's already history with David Culley there. There's already history with Lovie Smith there.
Well,
there's three black head coaches in the Houston Texans history already.
Was in that side of it, not the Dallas side of it.
What do you mean the Dallas side of it?
Dallas had those coaches already or no?
No, we're talking about Houston.
I'm saying, so you said Texas.
Texans.
But I'm saying Texas at the end of the day. Dallas never had those coaches. Only the other franchise had those coaches.
Okay, so what I don't know what your angle is.
I don't follow your point.
You got the Yankees and you got the Mets.
Right.
The Yankees are going to get the prestigious coach. You're going to get the guy who, quote unquote, is the guy to win, and the other team is going to get whatever they're going to get.
So you're saying
okay. So all right. So Dallas is
Texas.
The Cowboys are the gold standard. Absolutely. But the thing is with me, here's my David Culley, Lovie Smith conversation. Right. If nobody would take that job because of how the organization looked at that time, right? The whole Deshaun Watson thing, he said a lot of things about the owner that, he didn't like and all that stuff. Cool. It was a lot of backlash, right? If nobody that you interviewed wanted to take that job, then why would you think that giving an opportunity to a career assistant, a career coordinator who never wanted to be a head coach like that, he was very comfortable in his job, took the interview and got hired, knew that, this might not work out, but I just want to say that I was a head coach at one point, right? That, to me, is more of a disservice than just hiring within. Why don't you just hire within? Why do you have to take one of us and make us look like we're not worthy enough to get a second year? That's where my angle comes from. You could have took anybody, but you took David Culley. Then you let him go. And you said, David Culley was only a placeholder. Let's go hire Lovie Smith. Right? Let's go hire him. Outright. And then you didn't give him a chance to finish.
Right.
That, to me, it's deliberate. It's not coincidence in regards to that happening. That looks like a deliberate thing. You're appealing to who? Because your organization looks shady because of what happened to the black quarterback, now you want to hire black coaches. But at the same time, you're not giving them the chance of actually doing a job. That in itself is negligence.
They're hiring like they're meeting a quota.
Right. That's why I don't like it. Got nothing to do with them. Whatever. They could love Demeco. He's a one of their historical players. All of that stuff is great. Why couldn't you hire within until he was available?
I see your point. But
don't meet the quota with us and then pass them off to the side, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen with Lovie Smith is that he'll never get another head coaching job again.
You're going to make him look like
because of how it ended, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't mutually agree to part ways. He got fired. Byron Leftwich got fired from being an OC. Mike LaFleur parts ways with the Jets. He gets hired. Kellen Moore agrees to part ways with the Cowboys. He's now the OC in the Chargers. You see a difference?
Big difference.
No.
Stand on your shirt.
When you get fired, huh?
Stand on your shirt.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So for them, what good did the opportunity do for you? It did nothing for you. It actually made things worse for you. That's why I don't like. It's the optics. The optics looks terrible. And for whatever, they can be able to tell me whatever they want to tell me. Demeco Ryans is a great candidate. Is going to turn this around. All right, cool. I still don't forget what y'all did, though. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
No, I hear you. And again, if I'm Demeco, I need certain concessions to be made.
That's it.
Right? And if certain concessions are made, then it's also in black and white, then I'm walking through the door. Certain concessions have to be made. Yeah. David Culley, I think he knew the situation, so I think he just wanted the opportunity. But I think he knew the situation. Lovie Smith, as a former head coach in the league, he should have had certain concessions made. He didn't. It's unfortunate for him. It surely is unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
But again, I get the optics of the Texans and how everything went down with Deshaun and their hiring. I see your point.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, can ownership and Demeco turn this around?
Absolutely.
And hopefully they could turn it around, right?
They have a chance to. They have the second pick.
They have the chance, right? Because in sports we see things turn around. Like
all you need is a quarterback.
All you need is a quarterback, right? All you need is that star player. Look at the Yankees, for example. George Steinbrenner was once hated in sports, hated in that sport, but finally was able to turn it around, and he was beloved until he passed away. So you see the same thing within different teams in all sports. Same thing with the Cowboys, right?
I heard you was about to say Cowboys.
Yeah, I heard that.
You struggle with that. I heard it.
Listen.
I'm
Ladies and gentlemen,
nice.
we got him.
I'm trying to be real nice, but we see the same thing with the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a narrative about Jerry Jones, but you see black former
He's
player,
beloved.
player is beloved, and they trying to help turn that narrative around. It just takes certain groups, certain people to turn around, and the optics change, and then everyone has a different opinion. Not saying what happened to those two coaches is correct, and it should have gone down that way. It's just now we know the history, right? So without knowing the past, you don't have a future, right? DeMarco knows the past. He was part of the past. Now can he right the wrong, or can he help write a new script to put the Texans back in
fair
and in a good light?
I'm gonna leave it there. I think you made good points. I hope that's the case. I hope that they give him a legit shot, because nobody can do their job in a year. Nobody can probably do their job in 2 years. In football, sometimes it takes 3 years to actually get your system in. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope he gets the opportunity. They're gonna get a chance to get a nice quarterback in this draft, whether they trade up to get the number 1 pick or they stay at 2 and settle for CJ Stroud or somebody else. We'll see. But they're in good position in regards to where they're at. They have a good running back. They have some pieces on defense. So Demeco, it's a job. It's a good job, but at the end of the day, I didn't like the optics. So I'm still gonna be skeptical until I see different. You know what I mean? Moving on to my irrelevant news of the week.
I love this.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the... I mean, yeah,
They stink.
Did you guys hear about this assistant coach in Virginia? Well, if you didn't hear it, I'll tell you. Assistant coach, her name is 𝐿𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸𝐿𝐸 girls team, basketball team.
JV, I think, right?
JV. Thank you, Chili McFreeze. You're very good.
He's a spotter
when he's awake.
Pause. So one of the players was not there today. Whether, I don't know if she just missed the game or something happened, she was ill. Well, this assistant coach decided to take matters into her own hands, and she suited up for the girls' basketball team. Yo,
serious.
if you see the clips, if you see the clips, she's blocking everything. Blocking everything.
Yo.
I'm talking about like disrespectful blocks too. Like Joanna Man. It's bad. It's bad. So the how she got bagged is that the father came out and was like, yo, my daughter wasn't at no damn game. And mind you, she wearing the daughter jersey. What are we doing? What are we? Yo, listen, this is the third case that we've had in like the past how many months?
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks. But she takes the cake. She actually said, one of my players is not playing. Coach, shoot me up.
I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, you know what I blame? It's our generation because we can't let the game go, bro.
Dude.
I ain't gonna hold you. We gotta win. I don't care how. We want it, bro.
But you know what it comes down to again?
Shoot me up, coach. I'm amazing.
How's she allowed to do this?
Yeah, I don't think anybody allowed her. I think she just took matters in her own hands.
But she's the assistant coach.
Yeah.
So where's the head coach?
Maybe the head coach wasn't even paying attention. I don't know.
What?
Crazy.
How do you not?
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
So you missed two things. You missed your assistant
Facts.
coach being at the game.
Right.
And you missed the...
Maybe the assistant coach called out and then appeared as the player. We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yo,
we don't got the facts.
When I play high school sports, if something like that happened, you forfeit your whole season.
Right.
So did that happen?
Maybe it did. Maybe it did.
This can't be real. Like,
it's real.
Maybe they did it once and got away with it.
It's real. Facts.
Yo, fam.
She's probably a repeat offender.
Do the thing.
She's probably a repeat offender. Maybe the coach is like, yo,
you know what to do, right?
You know she
That's
going.
probably the first game
that they actually
Omaha.
The first game probably was like a scrimmage. Nobody paid attention.
Coach is like, yo, listen, Arlisha, she gone. You know what to do. You know what to do, right?
Oh gosh.
Suit up.
Yo, players are looking like, yo, what are we doing?
Right.
Right. It's crazy.
Do it. McCartney Cola, do it.
So, yeah. This high school phenomenon is getting out of control. I've never had a desire to go back to high school. Not once. Not once. Not once.
I never went back.
I never went back.
Me either.
I just got the notice in the mail. The 20th anniversary is this year. I ain't never going back.
Right.
I would never
For what?
go back.
They ask me for money every year. I don't care.
Yeah, nah.
You get $6. You get no more than that. That's all I got to. That's all I got to give. $6.
I wouldn't give a damn penny.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him nothing.
$6.
I'll give him memories.
Better than me.
So Arlisha, I don't know what's wrong with you, but y'all gotta relax. That's the irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch that?
Crazy.
They stink.
Moving on. Kyrie got traded, y'all.
Got traded?
Excuse me.
Oh,
Let me bring it up. Let me bring it back. Kyrie has demanded a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, how we got here is very interesting. Over the summer, Kyrie and management, they were going back and forth. Kyrie wanted an extension. They didn't want to extend him. So then they gave him opportunity, him and his management, to seek a trade. No real suitors came out there. The Lakers were out there, but they didn't want to do dealings with the Lakers at that time, right? Then KD demands his trade. That happens, right? So now Everybody's hunky-dory. KD's back in the fold. Kyrie hasn't been a nuisance this season. Everybody's been playing well. They've been flying sky high. KD gets hurt. They struggle a little bit. But Kyrie has been on his best behavior. Well, news broke last week is that the agent I think he put a statement out there saying that they would love to stay with Brooklyn. They want to stay here for life, and they want to see if there's something can get done. Well, Brooklyn decided to say, yeah, we can try to get something done. It ain't gonna be what you want, but we could definitely try to get something done. So Kyrie wants a 4-year extension with no strings. Brooklyn wants all the strings. Right. They want every stipulation and every string possible to be able to keep him in line because we all know he's Mr. PTO, right? So
yeah, it's like me trying to come here and be like, yo, give me 40 guaranteed.
I'm gonna run the pod this
week,
right?
I'm not coming every week.
It's not happening. No. And I would never even think that you coming every week.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So don't give me 40. Boy, watch your mouth, boy.
So Kyrie is now upset, and instead of it continuing to negotiate, the negotiations broke down. He wants out. He's a free agent after the season, so he said that I want to be traded prior to the trade deadline, which is next week, and if you don't trade me, you're gonna lose me for nothing.
$30.
So, what team do y'all think is the best suited for Kyrie's services?
Just say it.
Fang McFrost wants it. Go ahead, Fang.
LeBron put the tweet out.
You saw it.
When LeBron tweets,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw the same tweet. Always think about the same tweet.
Yes, we are.
The one with the eyes and the king crown.
When LeBron tweets,
I ain't gonna hold you. I saw that and I said something's brewing.
Yes.
Something's brewing.
I don't see that happening though.
How?
Why not? We got 1st round picks we could get rid of, boy.
Well, they got to do a lot. Are they gonna do that?
What do you mean? What we got to do a lot?
Huh? You're gonna give up your picks for that?
Yes.
Yes, without a doubt.
That's what you're doing for.
Want Kyrie
for now?
Irving.
Not for later?
We later for what? We got Braun now.
This is it?
Braun's 38 years old.
It's so dirty, though. That's such a dirty tactic.
That's what Brady did it in Tampa. Okay.
You know why it's a dirty tactic?
2 years, 3 years.
You know why?
His son.
It's a dirty tactic because Braun know for a fact.
2 years, right? Yeah.
So y'all know what I'm about to say.
If you make this play, you're not getting your son.
Listen, let's not cross talk. Let's not cross talk. What we doing?
He knows for a fact he ain't staying over there. He just wants to win now for his legacy. He's out.
Who's out?
Braun's out.
Braun's not.
No, he's not. He's not. Listen.
What is the quarter pounder and cheese fact that your man is going to get his son on the Lakers? It's not happening.
Nah,
he's out of there, bro. He's going to do this for the now and be like, well, you tried.
Yeah, but if that happens, then it happens.
Right.
He'll be 40.
Right.
He can go somewhere if he's 40.
He's still trying to compete.
If he gets the Lakers another title, bye.
And if he leaves, the Lakers still have Kyrie.
Right. And we still got Kyrie and AD. What are you talking about?
And I never said nothing wrong. It's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Braun is leaving any way you look at it. He wants that for the right now, for the short term.
Yes, because he wants to win now.
So we on the same page. Pat me on my back.
That's the fact.
No. But what you got to understand is, the Lakers need a Kyrie Irving. They need it.
Schroeder just hit a half-court shot against the Knicks, bro.
So what?
They need him. They definitely need him. They definitely need him.
I don't know.
The Lakers have to close this deal. They have to.
That's all we got.
I think, first point about the Lakers. Lakers are not. LeBron is not. LeBron signed a 2-year extension, so he's not going anywhere.
Don't listen to Clark.
And I don't. And the Lakers, a lot had to happen for them to get Kyrie. I think Kyrie wants to stay, and the reason why Kyrie now has the leverage. He has the leverage where he can twist 𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐷, who's the owner of the Nets, his arm.
I don't think he can twist 𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐷 though. He's not KD.
And the reason why I'm gonna say he can. The reason I'm going to say he can is the fact that regardless of the off-the-court issues or problems he presents on himself, he's still box office.
Yes.
So at the
but
end
he's
of the
a
day,
knucklehead.
so at the end of the day, and this is how I feel. This is where the NBA is different from every other league. it may be soccer from a global standpoint. The players have the control.
Hold that thought. We're gonna go to break and we're gonna come back. Back to this Kyrie Irving thing. So, Alan, you were talking about how this looks for them.
Yeah, and then my whole point is that the players have the power. They have the leverage, and you see that with how the deals are structured. You see that how players now move. So an NBA owner has the ability to cut, trade, release, bench a player, whatever. So Kyrie has a leverage in saying, "Hey, I want to get paid. I want to get paid in these conditions. If you're not going to do it, someone else is going to do it. And if you don't want to release me, and by the deadline, I'll go somewhere else. And you're gonna get me for nothing if you let me go."
So you believe that this is a leverage tactic?
It's pure leverage, and I think he's gonna have 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐳 come to some concession with him.
But here's where I kick back on that, Al, is that when he tried that leverage maneuver in the summer, they allowed him to explore it.
Again,
that's the difference between him and KD. When KD was over here kicking up a ruckus, 𝐥𝐢𝐳 went to go meet with him directly.
And
Kyrie is not Kevin Durant.
And that's very true.
It's not.
He's not Kevin Durant. But, and this is the big but here, he's the one that pulled KD into Brooklyn.
Right?
So he has power where he was like, okay, you know what? KD, if I want another superstar to come with me, whatever have you,
I think you're giving him too much credit.
But he's done it. He's done it once already.
But KD was going to go anywhere regardless.
And he forced himself out of Boston. See,
Did he force himself out of Boston?
Yeah.
Or did Boston force himself out of Boston?
Because why? Because Boston did offer him a contract. He just didn't take it.
Yeah, they offered him a contract before he scorched the earth.
All right.
And was that bad.
I'm just saying, but they still offer him a contract.
That's true.
Right? They still offer him a contract. And the thing about KD, and I think KD is a top 10 talent overall in NBA history, basketball history. I don't think he's a true leader.
But neither of them are.
But from who can galvanize and who can get other people to follow, it's Kyrie versus KD, right? Guess what? KD left and joined 73-19. He could have went somewhere else and pulled players, but he never did. He went to Brooklyn, right? And every time they wanted to make a move, he had to check with Kyrie when they got James Harden, when he got all these other players. But at the end of the day, my whole point is Kyrie has enough cachet to get something done in his favor because he has done it before.
I disagree. I vehemently disagree. The reason why is because Kyrie's stature around the NBA as a player it's not debatable, right? People know that he's a baller. People understand that he's a superstar. Mm-hmm. How GMs and owners feel about Kyrie is completely different. They don't want the headache of what comes with that talent. So when you're hearing all of these teams in the summertime and now there's not a big market for him because they're saying to themselves, who's to say that he's not going to do the same thing to us as what he did in Boston, as what he did when he got power in Brooklyn? Remember, he didn't have any power in Boston. Boston Celtics are an institution. You're a player, but it's the actual brand that runs things. He went to Brooklyn because there is no history. Mm-hmm. There is no brand. You can be able to dictate how you move in that organization because they have no history.
And I mean, and how many NBA teams have the history as the Lakers, Knicks, Boston Celtics.
A lot of teams they have a GM that is going to stand on their square. What's going to happen here is, and I can almost guarantee this is going to happen. Josiah and Sean Marks are going to go down to their representatives, speak to Kyrie's agent, and say, "Give me the teams that you want to get a trade to," and they're going to oblige him. Al, they want him gone.
Yep.
I don't know.
Because they wanted him gone in the summertime. They were willing to trade him and keep Kevin, because you can be able to repair your franchise with Kevin instead of Kyrie.
And if that was the case, if they wanted,
Wait, let me finish. The only reason why the Lakers want Kyrie Irving, and the only reason why Kyrie Irving wants the Lakers, is because Kyrie Irving understands that there's only one particular person that can be able to mask him and let him be him with no scrutiny. That's LeBron James.
I mean, he admitted when he left that
when
he should stay.
When you know that you have protection, when you got a man that's just like, they're gonna hold you down 100 grand, you can be the biggest screw up in the world. That dude is gonna fight for you even if you're wrong, right? That's LeBron James, and he understands that. So for him, going to LA is the best situation for him, because he understands that he can be able to ball there as well as not be the focal point of that team.
And that's
what he wants to do. He's been wanting to do that. He wanted to go to LA in the summertime. They didn't want to pull the deal.
Yeah,
the same deal is going to be on the table now.
And guess what? In the same deal, if Joe signed the Nets wanted to get rid of him so badly, like you're stating, they will accept any package to come their way.
How you know they won't? It just happened today.
So the question is he big of a headache?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
No. But I'm saying, hold on.
Especially after the last thing.
But wait. And the whole Jewish, I get the whole Jewish community coming.
There's a laundry list.
So I get it. We're not gonna get into that. But my whole thing is, if they wanted to get rid of him because he was such bad PR, he was not marketable. He's bringing the franchise down to another level that they cannot accept.
Right.
They will get rid of him for nothing. At the end of the day, hold on. But at the end of the day, they did not. Because why? They understand that regardless, he's still box office. Regardless, he's still a talent that, guess what? He is worth top dollars. And if they can't get that, they're going to keep him. And at the end of the day, they know that they're somewhat at his mercy.
Keep him for the year.
Keep him for the year.
That's what they were banking on this year. It was just for this year.
And guess what? They could. And at the end of the day, Kyrie's unpredictable. He could be like, you know what? I like you here. Let's go work on a 1-year deal.
But as an organization, why would you keep dealing with that?
Right.
Because they dealt with it for this long.
There's a difference, right? We have the Brooklyn Nets and we have the Clippers, right? I use those two teams because they're very comparable. The reason why they're comparable is because they're two desperate franchises that have no history, that have been pretty much held captive by two superstars that are not leaders. Kawhi Leonard, who's not a leader, who's held that team captive over the last 4 seasons. And you have Kyrie Irving, who's not a leader, who's never been a leader, and who has held the Brooklyn Nets captive for the last 4 seasons. They're very comparable because both of those guys come with a lot of headache. However, because these franchises have no history, they have to try to appease to these said players. Do you honestly believe that if Kyrie Irving was a New York Knick, he can pull the nonsense that he's been doing in Brooklyn? If Kyrie Irving was a Boston Celtic, could that have happened with Boston? No. If it was the Toronto Raptors, do you think that he could be able to pull that stunt? No. It's all about a franchise that's desperate to win, and they will accept whatever nonsense you bring to them. However, the difference between the Lakers and the Clippers and the Nets, the Lakers have history of not putting up with garbage, one. And two, they have the biggest bargaining chip or the biggest poker chip there, LeBron James. The only time that Kyrie Irving has ever been successful is when he played with LeBron James. Before LeBron, Cavs were bad. He didn't do anything. After LeBron, Nets were bad. They didn't do anything. So he understands what his value is now as a 30-year-old man. He needs to go to LA. He has to.
And trust me, as much as the Nets want to get rid of him,
they're not going to give him away for nothing.
Right.
This is not the NFL where they just trade guys for 7th round picks when something happens.
That they can get something for
right.
him. So they're going to use him as a pawn.
Exactly.
He does have leverage, but they have leverage also.
Correct.
They're going to dangle him.
Yeah. They're going to say, listen, you're not worth the headache, one, but we're not just going to give you away for anything. We're going to get something for you.
They'd be fools.
They'd be fools to just give him a 2nd round pick or something like that. They'd be fools.
And listen, this is my last point here. And the reason why I think, again, this is right, I think Kyrie has a leverage is because you bring up Kawhi Leonard, which is a perfect example. When he was with the Spurs, okay, when we talked about the Spurs and Pop and so forth and coaches and so forth on, but the Spurs had the leverage. They I don't think they got an apples to apples trade, right? And they shipped into Toronto. It wasn't his choice, wasn't his desire, but they had the leverage. They understood, okay, we got the power. No one's going to dictate. We're not going to get backlash to sending him to Toronto. Kyrie, you can't just send Kyrie anywhere. Because at the end of the day, when Kyrie's a free agent, someone's going to tolerate the behavior and still pay him because they know that I'm going to get something in return. It may not be 10% return, but I'm going to get at least 7% return. And I think that's the difference.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens, man. There's gonna be there's a very short time between now and the trade deadline. So
they don't want him to be a free agent.
Yeah,
they don't want him.
If he hits free agency,
what do they get?
It's over already.
What do they get?
They get nothing. So they have
a bag of chips.
They literally have like 5 days or 6 days to be able to figure this out. Right. So we're gonna see. Moving on to a topic that I think everybody can be able to kind of talk about is that what are your thoughts on the state of sports officiating right now? I think officiating has been under siege this year. I think the NFL refs have been under siege for a lot of bad calls. We've seen a lot of bad calls in the NBA as well. Is there time for something drastic to happen? Thoughts?
Well, I believe that the refs should be able to get fined.
Yeah, I agree.
They should be able to get fined.
For egregious calls?
It should be quality control. If you have a certain amount of wild calls and they're not contested, you should have to pay the price on that at the end of the year.
Well, a fine or a suspension. What do you think?
I think both. It's just go in your file. I think you should have your own. You know how teachers.com have their, your teacher's trash.
Yeah, but what's actually the ramifications of that? They're gonna put it in your file, but then what?
You don't get booked. You don't get the job anymore.
I believe. Listen,
if you get fined and then it leads up until like a suspension, not a suspension, or maybe, you know how they grade them and they say, oh, we're gonna.
But if you give the ref fouls,
this game and
then the ref knows, like, oh, I got 2 fouls. I got another.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing like a fine because they're not making a lot of money.
But
so
then
they
the fine hit different. If you hit somebody in their pocket, it's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like rather than give me a demerit system, it's like how many I got. All right, cool. I got for another one. Like it's not penalizing as much as a fine.
Right. So you would believe that a fine should be.
I feel like a fine, or you just don't get the opportunity to do it anymore.
I think you should be fined. You should be fined and or suspended.
Right.
Because
or both.
Look at I forget what player it was, but I think it was like last week, where he was just talking to like one of the fans.
Oh, that was John Morant.
Yeah. He got thrown out the game.
Right.
He got thrown out the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
And that's the NBA. And the NFL is.
I think that this generation of ref, whether it be football or basketball or whatever it is, they're very they get in their feelings a lot. I think these refs are very emotional, where they're not allowing guys to, like, this is a sport.
It's an emotional sport.
Like, guys get emotional. Guys are, it's a heat of the battle. Like, teammates argue, teammates fight. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not allowing guys to have human reactions to certain things, it's like, that's the problem. Then you're getting mad about how they're reacting to it. It's like, yo, it's a bad call. How do you want me to react if the game is on the line? Like, look at how LeBron reacted on that call where he got hacked by Jason Tatum. Have you ever seen LeBron behave that way? But he understood, like, yo, dude, what do I have to do to get a foul?
With the ref standing
With
right
the ref
there,
standing
looking at,
right there
looking
in
him,
front of you,
looking
dude.
right at him.
It boils down to not the refs so much of the policy.
Yeah,
It should
because
be-
there's no,
it-
I agree with you,
There
Chloe.
should be an extra ramification of, like, oh, hold on, like, NFL goes to New York, and be like, oh, look, New York, what's up? What do you think about this one? And they're gonna do it on their own merit.
But even still, even them, there's still no drawback or ramifications for the refs.
Right.
They'll
The refs
go
on
ahead
that
and have the
But see, I
the
feel like
report
that
on Monday and say, hey, we missed it.
that creates the ramification where it's like, oh, we got to go above you. Hold on, this looks wild, crazy.
Yeah, but there's still nothing that happens after that.
It has to come down to, like, all right,
going forward.
enough of this. We're doing this too much. Like, if we have to keep doing this for every time you're on the court, refereeing a game, then you need to get off the court.
Right.
Bring somebody else in.
Yeah, I agree.
Damn right.
No, I
I
don't.
definitely feel like I have room. Like I definitely feel like in their referee meetings, they're talking about what they should be calling, what they shouldn't be calling, who's above what rule.
Yeah.
Who's the man? Who's the star? Don't call this. Don't call that.
It gotta be, because the thing is, you can't give Giannis and all these dudes all these fouls, and then you see LeBron the next night and then you give him nothing, or you see Steph Curry and he gets nothing. It's like, these are stars. Stars are stars. Like, if they're stars, they're supposed to get star calls. We already know that stars are always treated a little differently.
Right.
But if you don't treat all the stars uniformly the same way, then that's a problem, because it's not consistent.
Well, you gotta understand, it's parlays.
Parlays.
You gotta understand, there's parlays, baby.
Yo, the ref meetings are
man.
like Mardi Gras, bro.
Do
The
you
guys
think-
are just like, yo, yeah, you didn't call that one, right? Yeah, get this guy a beer.
Do
Yeah, I
you
would have
think
never called that either.
If they, so just like how they use the replays for like the ref, do you think they can do that in the middle of a game?
I think they should
Overturn like a call, like the ref called?
within the final 2 minutes in the
Yeah.
basketball game. I think they
in the
should.
final 2 minutes,
2 minutes,
yeah.
clutch.
But still, if you do it in the final 2 minutes, then they're gonna say, how many calls can they do?
Now,
How many
well,
calls
they
can
like
overturn?
put a limit. If it's a game deciding play,
Yes.
you should look at it.
Yes.
Like, if there's a foul where it's a minute and 5 seconds left and the game is tied, you gotta look at that. That's something you should look at.
Well,
It's
see-
just like in NFL. Every touchdown is reviewable.
I don't know.
But the difference is
that is the
here's
bar.
gonna be
Every
the difference.
touchdown is reviewable.
But here's the difference with basketball. A break in play could be crucial for replays because basketball is run based.
The momentum.
It's fed off of momentum, up and down, just you're back and forth. Now, if you're on a run and there's a controversial call, that can really mess up the game.
I get you, but at the same time, if they're not getting the calls right, like what we saw last week with the refs are literally changing the outcome of the end of games.
And
a ref should never. That's the
Right.
one rule for a ref, that you should never be the reason that a game gets swayed like that.
Can you answer one question for me?
Yes.
I want you to honestly answer this question. Do you believe that these refs are throwing the games?
No, I don't
purposely?
believe so.
You really?
I just believe that they're bad at their job.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't believe that the
Following the
parlays,
When refs say, and
come
certain
on,
refs say that they have
especially
parlays,
nowadays.
I heard that.
And listen, nowadays, remember, it's already been exposed that the refs were betting on the games.
Tim Donaghy.
That's been exposed already. Sports betting is at an all-time high right now.
Yeah. Pete
All-time
Rose.
high. And now look at the calls.
I mean, listen, I
Yo,
can't argue it.
Hold on.
I can't argue
Let
it.
me just add
but
the metal hat with the strap on the chin because I'm
You know what I'm
with
saying?
you, bro.
I can't
Sports
argue
betting
it.
is at an all-time high right now.
Who's with us?
And
Chili McFreeze, you
it goes
down?
hand in hand.
Hey.
It goes hand in hand. Sports betting
70%
goes up.
of the game
the
is
calls are getting crazy. The no calls are getting
Crazy
crazy.
game. 30% is
Everyone's traveling, carrying, double dribbling. Like, where are the refs, bro?
Right, but at this point, it's too late for them to kind of figure it out, right? They've already gone so far.
Yeah.
They've already messed up the game.
You've already been this bad.
They've already been this bad. Like, it's nice to say that you want to police the refs, but when there's a no call, who's stopping the clock? Who's stopping the game to check the ref? Like, when there's a call, it's easier for them to say, it's easier for them to make the call and say, all right, well, they reviewed it in New York and they said, they should overturn the call. But when there's no call, who's saying, you don't check that ball, we're going to go check, we're going to stop momentum of the game right now. We're going to go look at cameras.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not an easy fix.
At home, on a TV screen, I can see that someone traveled. So now if you're standing 5 feet away from the person, you're going to tell me that you can't see that?
How many of those are you going to do? Because if you're not calling, you're like,
but see,
traveling's at an all-time high. Carrying's at an all-time high.
But look, you know what, Phil? That's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. The game is going to be so ruined because of that they're going to have no choice but to step in and say, listen, enough is enough.
But also, it turns into checks and balances, too. Look at the NFL, right? A coach won't throw that red challenge flag until they look at the score, like the Jumbotron, and be like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, we're throwing right now.
But you got to also understand.
I have an opportunity to do so because I had an extra moment to see what everybody else just saw.
Yeah, I think that there's certain things that the NBA can put in.
But a coach is standing on an NFL field as opposed to an NBA court, it's a big difference.
It's still on the sideline. It's not there.
But they got the Titantrons that they can be.
They got Titantrons. They do still have them.
Like they
But you got to understand, as a coach, is so much going on as a coach in the game.
Right.
To where, like, as an NBA coach and an NFL coach, there's a big difference in coaching.
As I'm saying, but look at the NFL's coaches found an opportunity to be like, I don't have to use this right now, but they have the option to use it. NBA coaches don't have that.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine having the opportunity to be like, oh yeah, hell no.
Nah, it's true.
It's a game changer right
there. It's a tough situation, but they gotta do something.
I would hate for NBA coaches to get that opportunity to throw a flag. I would hate that because it comes down to like sort of like icing a kicker. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean they've taken away the hack a Shaq. They've taken away all these things that you can't do already. Thinking that they were helping the game, but in all actuality,
well, listen, there's ways of doing it. Obviously, you can. They have TV timeouts all the time.
Yeah,
refs can be able to look into the TV timeout, use that TV timeout to look at a play, and then once you get back to being on air, you can make a decision on a certain play, on a certain bang bang play. There's nothing wrong with that, but they have to start doing this more because they are really screwing it up. A lot. It's bad.
I just feel like it's going to ruin the game, but at the same time, it needs to ruin the game in order for things to get better.
They need to do something. Moving on to the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah. Shots fired.
I hit both.
Dummy, yeah.
Get a dummy for yourself.
Nah, definitely not. But I'll put it out there anyway.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week, I go around the room and I ask, who's Dummy of the Week? Cole, you got?
I have the refs for the LeBron James game and the tweet they sent out.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad.
As said that, oh, yeah.
We missed it.
We're doing our best over here. And, hey, we're going to lose sleep over this.
Right. Hey, we don't feel good about this. We're sorry.
Yo.
Yeah, stop it.
Dummy. Absolutely not.
Phil, did you find one?
Yeah. Here we go. So for anyone who feels that in the beginning of a season they send 32 teams a script of how they're gonna play, how they're gonna get injured, and what's gonna happen in the NFL, I think they deserve.
Hold on, Phil. I need 3 of them.
Dummy, yeah. Dummy, yeah.
I'm gonna get dummy
2
weeks in a row.
You did it to yourself. It just
doesn't make sense.
Chili McFreeze, who you got?
My dummy of the week is going to whoever made that movie, The cocaine bear.
Nah, I can't do it. Nah.
That'd be great.
Yo,
I'm not
I
gonna do
gotta
that.
check that. I gotta check
Give
that
him
out.
that. That movie's happening, bro.
We all
Movie's
agree
great.
that Cocaine Bear is fire.
That is WWE.
The best movie
Cocaine
ever.
Bear is fire.
What is he gonna
dare
do?
you.
Sniff cocaine? Then what?
And mind you, it's a true story.
Yo,
Yo, it's Ray Liotta's last movie, bro. Have
bear
respect.
sniffing cocaine.
There's too many storylines.
No. It's a bear sniffing 80s cocaine.
Facts.
Going balls to the
So
wall
he gonna
crazy.
go to a high and gonna get a low.
Bro,
Pure coke.
with the Miami Vice t-shirt on. Yes, you're gonna watch that movie, bro. It's gonna be great.
Oh my
Nicole, you got-
gosh. A disaster waiting to happen.
Oh, the no sharing?
Oh, yeah,
They definitely gotta get that one. They definitely gotta get that one. We gonna share regardless what they do. I don't care what y'all do Netflix. We still share.
Or we gonna
find a way.
unshare Netflix.
Facts. Or we gonna unshare Netflix.
Dummy. Yeah. I'm changing my password immediately.
Who you got, Al?
I got these ticket scammers, man. Like the Beyonce tour is gonna.
Yo, you know there's mad people on it right now.
It's not gonna
end well.
It's not gonna be fair for those who actually want to see and
Facts.
And
Facts.
they're gonna spend, rent money.
For the people that's actually
Rent money, bro.
For the people that
Starting is like $600.
Yeah, not bad.
They're gonna go
And so,
crazy.
people gonna try to get them and sell them for like $1,200, $1,300.
Damn right. I'm gonna try.
for the
Some new
people
Jordans.
for the people that's gonna spend their
Damn right.
BMW money
I'ma
on
try
them
to get
Beyonce tickets.
Facts.
Dummy. Yeah.
Fame McFrozen, you got.
My dummy of the week has to go to the 𝐥𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐿.
Oh yes, 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐿. He was trolling
Tyler
Halliburton all season.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Called him a wannabe all-star. Well, guess what? He's an all-star now.
Dummy.
Wally.
Dummy.
All of y'all dummies were great. It's great. Give yourself a round of applause, everybody. Great dummy week. But I got a couple. This week. May I have the drum roll, please? And the first winner for Dummy of the Week, Mayor Eric Adams.
Ooh, I hate that.
Mayor Eric Adams is my first
Dummy. Yeah.
because who told this man to sign off on making the what's the building? Is it the Empire State Building? Green for the Eagles.
Right.
We in New York. We in New York, fam. I've never seen a mayor do that here.
And they just demolished the Giants.
Yo,
Well, I told you, this man's no good.
you said your man got a podcast now. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? What, like, who do you think you are? Just mayor. That's all I want you to do.
Just Mayor's a ball.
Just mayor.
Sidebar, we spoke about it last week when I gave him the dummy.
Yes.
That budget is $1 billion for the migrants. $1 billion
he's
of
still
our
Yo.
tax dollars. $1 billion of our tax dollars is going to these migrants.
Yo, he is upset about it. Fang McFrost is, 2 weeks has been brewing. All right, it's been brewing.
We're paying for these people to live in hotels. They're on vacation.
All right, don't take on my dummy. Don't take on my. But you're right. You're right. I get it. I understand. Man, Eric Adams, you gotta hold that.
Dummy. Yeah.
Because I don't understand why you feel that you can come here and think that you can like just change things. New York is New York. Don't try to like make Philly like a borough of New York. That's not the way it goes here. Not the way it goes here. Because when we win, they don't do nothing for us over there. They don't do that. They don't do that.
Nope.
No. And also, who the hell wants to hear him on a podcast? About what? About what? Then he calls himself the hip-hop mayor. Really?
Hate that, man.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. 2 back-to-back mayors, I can throw him away.
I think he's
I
worse.
can throw him away. De Blasio, him. What's wrong with them?
I'm about to run. See de Blasio walk riding the
I
horse.
I want Dickens back.
Word, right?
I want Dickens back. You know what I mean? I want Dickens back.
Take Ed Koch.
Facts. Ed Koch was fire. You know what I mean? So Eric Adams, mayor, you gotta hold that dummy.
Dummy. Yeah.
But it gets better.
Here comes a new challenger.
It gets better. Y'all had to have heard the story of the MMA fighter. Didn't hear it? Well, if you didn't hear it, I'll tell you. You can look up Mr. Tomar Washington. Tomar Washington is my real
Dummy, yeah.
because Tomar Washington had a fight, right? Regular mixed martial arts fight. The bout is over. He has his one of the masks on, like, you know, he come out with one of those whatever fancy masks.
Like a luchador?
No, it wasn't a luchador, but I think it was either what's that movie? Saw. I think it was a Saw mask.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Saw mask on. He's celebrating. He's hyped. He's dapping up his corner. Everything is cool. The ref is in there with the stone face and waiting to announce the winner of the fight. So he's there, like, talking to the camera. Yeah, you know, we doing it up, baby. This is what we doing. Yeah. Ref is still with the stone face, waiting for the announcement of the match. The commentators are like, I don't think that Tomar Washington understands what's going on here, but he thinks he's won the fight. So the announcement comes to mind you, the ref, Stoneface, waiting to raise the hand, right? So he says that the winner by disqualification is such and such fighter. So Tomar Washington is looking around like, what are you talking about? I didn't win the fight. Yo, I ain't never seen no shit like this ever. I've never seen, and nobody in his corner was telling him, yo, fam, you ain't win this fight. They was just looking at him like,
everybody was naive too.
He's like, who gonna tell him? Who gonna tell him? Craig, you gonna tell him? Craig, you gonna tell him? No, we ain't gonna tell him. We ain't gonna tell him. Yo, the ref is just there. Winner, he raises nobody's hand.
Oh, man.
Yo, that is the craziest ending I've ever seen in a mixed martial arts fight. The man thought he won. How can you think he won and you got disqualified? You're the only person in the ring. The announcers, the crowd, everybody knows you lost, but you. Wow. Yo, so Tomar Washington, you, my friend, are in the Dummy Hall of Fame because I ain't never heard no shit like this. So you gonna hold this L, but you a winner for Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
That's all for this show, Claw. I appreciate you. What is your kind word of the week, sir?
This one goes out to the young guys traveling abroad, going to Colombia, DR. Just because you pay for the entertainment doesn't count on your body count. So just be mindful when you come back home and tell the real stories.
Why doesn't it count, though?
It doesn't count. Bro.
Doesn't count?
Yeah.
It's because that they might be a little.
Yeah, listen.
Is it okay. Yeah. We talked about it last week.
Nah,
Yeah. Okay. Phil, I appreciate you. You know, coming here in your model outfit, and I don't know who you're trying to impress.
Always great to be here.
I don't know who you're trying to impress. You dodging the question.
I just love being here at the podcast.
Okay, cool. Chili McFreeze, have anything to say? Are you embarrassed to be a 49ers fan?
Nah.
Are you ashamed?
I'm proud of the 49ers.
Are you ashamed that you jinxed your team sitting in this chair?
I didn't jinx them.
Yes, you did.
Nah, I didn't jinx
them.
them.
You came here, on a Saturday! And then what happened?
They lost on a Sunday!
Facts. Had no quarterback on a Sunday.
Listen, y'all really wanted them to lose. Y'all put that energy out there.
I ain't gonna lie. I definitely had a Brock Purdy, what do you call those things? Those dolls? Yeah, I had one. Yeah, I had one.
Listen.
I did.
Wait. What about this week? What's up? Well, not this week, next week.
What about next week?
Who we picking?
Oh, we're gonna talk about that next week.
Okay.
Talk about that. We got time. Baby. Nicole on the ones and twos, the silent assassin. You always got some good dummies a week. She the dummy of the week MVP. I ain't gonna hold you. She is. Al, I appreciate you coming through, man. It was a lot of fun. I hope you had fun here.
Of course, man. I had fun.
You know, you brought your knowledgeable insight. Okay? You know,
appreciate that.
Put a lot of people in their place today, especially Claw with his conspiracy hat. You made sure that you counter his ego a little bit. Listen, I don't want to embarrass you, but here's how I'm gonna lay it out for you. That's what you did. You let him down smoothly. I like that. I like that.
Tactician, man.
Yeah, facts. Fang McFrost, I gotta watch you. All right, we're gonna start like I'm gonna may have to pull up some papers, like some demerit system. Like you won't have like maybe 2 or 3 of these wild takes per pod. Gonna have to corral that because you just went on that immigrant. Listen. You gonna get a lot of people mad. You gonna get a lot of people mad. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Listen, man.
I'm trying to protect you.
People gonna be mad no matter what.
That is true. That's a bar. That is a bar. Before I go, this week was very, very hard for me personally. It's my mother's 1-year anniversary of her passing. And it never gets any easier, but the one thing that she would always tell me is that be yourself. Don't try to conform to what people want you to be. Be yourself. She told me that story, and I'll tell it again. You know, I had just started the pod. I really just started the pod, probably like a year in. And she said to me, Jay, you know, the podcast is good. She said, but it's not you. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not me. Of course it's me. She's like, no, it's you, but it's not you. You're trying to sound like somebody that you're not. And I didn't get it at first. But when she passed, I got it. Because when I normally talk about stuff, y'all know me. Y'all know when I talk about stuff, I get crazy. And I was trying to be too cookie cutter with how I was doing my pod before. And when she passed, I made sure that I was going to be myself. So to continue to honor my mother, this year has passed, and I think that I've done a fairly good job at it. And I just want to continue to make her proud, make everybody that associates with me proud, and continue to build. Because honestly, I do this for her. I do this for my son. I do this for my loved ones. I do this for everybody that believes in me. Not a lot of people believe in me. And I use that as motivation. I lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of people that thought they were in your corner. And what I've learned is that you got to continue to grow. You got to continue to level up. And you got to continue to believe in yourself. So my message to everybody in here, no matter what you want to do, your friends, your family, they're only one part of it. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to make sure that you surround yourself with people that believe in you as well. And I had the biggest super agent for 37 years of my life until she passed. And I miss her every day, but we're going to continue to grow this podcast. We're going to continue to make it special. We're going to continue to make it fun, because that's what she wanted. That's what she wanted for me, and that's what I want for everybody else. So my message is just be yourself and don't worry about what everybody else got to say.
Well put, man.
Right? So until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.
My son is the champ, so get over it.